Good evening and happy Friday. Welcome back to another round. I'm your girl Jay. I'm here with my girl El Cid. We are your cousins. If y'all did not know, welcome to the family. Welcome to the bar. Come on up, have a seat, pull up, pull up, pull up, order a drink, okay? Because we're in for some tea. All right. Again, we back on the Tokyo tea because it's just crap all in the glass again, okay? The cocktails are flowing, all right? The cocktails are flowing. Anywho, we are back with Love is Blind, season 7, technically episode 12, and all the drama they have going on outside of this daggone show. So come on in. If you're new here, we like to do here is put green hearts in the chat. Just let us know that you're here and showing some love. And also please like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. Okay. If you like anything, I'm not gonna pressure y'all. Y'all can wait till at the end this video, watch this whole video, then like, share, subscribe. Okay, do what you got to do. And if you're watching this on a replay, leave us a comment. Let us know that you was here. Okay, always good to show love. Hey, Capricorn Moon Goddess. Hey, B. And if you are a member to the channel, you know you already got these complimentary things, the shot glasses as well as the AR. They are running around these things. All right. Hey, El Cid, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. We're finally done with the weddings.
Oh. Predictions? Any predictions? Unpredictable predictions or anything like that? What?
You know
The
what it
hell?
feels like? It feels like the weddings you're invited to, but you just don't want to go to.
Yeah.
You it's like I know y'all getting married. I don't want to be there, but I guess I got an invite and I'm free, so I guess I gotta be there. That's what it feels like. So, predictions. Uh, People gonna do what they gonna do. How about that for a prediction?
They is definitely going to do what they are going to do. Okay. It's no ifs, ands, or buts about that part of it. These are some grown folks making some grown folks decisions. And here we are. Okay. Here we are. We could be disappointed with people, but guess what? That is life. This is what we do in life. We make some grown folks decisions. In hindsight, we look back and we like, we would have made better decisions had we known. Unfortunately, some people are not in the knowing while others were confronted by the knowing last minute. It doesn't hurt. It doesn't feel good either way. But you know what? I'd rather have mines on the front end than the back end. That's just me. No pause, no Vaseline. Okay. I don't want any of it on
None.
the back end. Cash me outside up front.
Don't do a sneak attack. Let me know.
Let me know you're
It's
not
just
into me. Let me know you're not ready. Let me know,
whew.
please.
Let me know so I could square up right. Let it be a fair one. Golly. I feel like every day I'm being slapped with new information. And I do mean slapped. It's like, where did that come from? Ooh.
Yeah. So let's just get into the episode real quick. We ain't gonna stay here long because we already know what happened. There was two I do's and a no. Okay, it was what was it? For two weddings and a funeral. That's what it was.
Two weddings and I won't be there.
Until next time.
See you next lifetime.
Exactly, but I won't be there. Good luck to you, ma'am. I say good day. I say good day. My guy, my guy.
Ooh.
Ooh, anywho, but you know what? I wanna start off with the most predictable one that we all know. Taylor and Garrett. We already knew that these two were going to wake it down the aisle. That they were going to say yes. There wasn't much doubt because Garrett confirmed to us, no matter what his parents say, he gonna do what he want to do. And we should have known then that Garrett was gonna be the man of this relationship, baby. Because Garrett gonna put his foot down to his mama and possibly to his wife.
Oh yeah, he putting it down to his wife. He being nice in the camera. He don't want to seem like the bad guy. He does love her, but it's like, the quintessential, I know how to spearfish out here. I ain't going to that Pacific Ocean to get swallowed up by something else. No, you stay here. Why go back and forth when your job is technically here?
Right.
And the
And
honey that you need for me to be able to have those margaritas are here. And it's free in the family. Why go there?
but as much as he put his foot down, it was a compromise with his mom. Like you have to compromise in marriage too. So now that she is married to his mom and his family, we're gonna have to compromise some things. So the compromise was you can get married long as you don't move. You ain't doing both.
You all got to be here for at least a year or two, or at least the first grandbaby, and name him after my daddy. Then you can move. But I love Taylor's dad. I mean, for the how Taylor said they don't want cameras in his house, I thought he was going to be a grump. I was prepared not to like him, but he came down, good old jolly, sentimental, wearing his brother's tie. He recognizes his wife run things, you know. So he was really, really a breath of fresh air compared to what I was expecting.
Yes, he said, "Y'all not about to dox me." I had these people looking at me like they going through Tyler. my so I know to keep my business, bit my business. All right, excuse me. I'll be here when I need to be. That is it, and that is all right.
He
But
did
it was
what
good
Alex should have done.
right. It was good to see their parents all together and stuff, happy for them. And 13, 13, 13. I don't know. That's 39. So I don't know. Maybe that might be a lotto number you might need to play. 39 might be y'all lucky number. But congratulations to that couple. We'll see what happens, what transpires in the reunion. All right. Maybe they made the move to San Diego by now. Maybe we're getting ready to move to San Diego for her job. Maybe she had to put it on hold for a second to let it clear the air of the show, whatever. But maybe we'll start packing these bags. We're back in negotiations. you know Marriage, you're married, do you ever stop really negotiating though?
Never, ever. Every day is a courthouse proceeding of negotiation. Every day. Because it's every day, who gonna get out of the bed first? Whoever last, gonna make it. So it's always a negotiation. You don't ever stop, ever.
Yeah.
You may like to, give a little to get a little. It's like, okay, honey, would you like me to do this for you? So you could pull it out later and say, hey, remember that time I was, really nice to you. Maybe you could return the favor.
Amen.
You never stop negotiating in marriage. I mean, it's not as salacious as that, but you never stop negotiating because it's compromise. Every day is a compromise.
The key words to El Cid's thing right there is have something to negotiate with and bring something to the table. When they ask what you bring to the table, something to negotiate.
You got to make deposits in order to make withdrawals. Gotta make however you deposit or whatever you deposit, whatever you bring to the buffet, please understand that you can then withdraw from that.
If you want some investment, you want to return, you need to make an investment. There you go.
Right.
Solid
You
advice.
you consider it to somebody, they will in turn turn around and be considerate to you. It's a balance.
It's the dance. That's
Oh
what we'll
yeah.
call it. Anywho, the second one that we knew was gonna get married, but we all kind of secretly wished they didn't because we got all the tea. We got all the tea. But let's stick to the show. Let's stick to the show. Would it have been bad for her to be married? Not say if none of the other outside things didn't exist. If Tyler's wish of the kids never existing was true, allegedly, because this is what I'm alleging his wish is. If his wish of these kids never existing and he had never had this past with Bree. Well, no, I can't erase the kids because that's the takeaway to my question. So with the kids, but they had a upright kind of situation. say Bree and him had an upright situation. He had 3 kids with this lady. Um, he was a donor to him or whatnot, an actual donor, like perceived. The situation was clear, clean and cut. Would it be bad for her to marry him with 3 kids?
It depends. It's not bad for her to marry him with 3 kids if, and that's a very big, short word. If he has a positive relationship and co-parenting with the other parent. Now, if we can co-parent, and if you can understand, I'm going out here to find a wife, and I may come home with one, sure, we could be fine. But if we adversarial, and I can't see my kids, and if I bring my wife over too to pick them up, you gonna show you behind, then no. But Ashley, I think Ashley would have. I think she would have understood. Because at 30 something years old, it's real hard pressed to find folks without kids.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the dating market, male or female. Men may or may not know if they have a kid out there at 30 something years old. So the thing is, what I would always ask or encourage my friends to ask is like, you always ask, is your name in a courthouse somewhere in somebody's family court? That covers all kinds of bases, whether you really had the kid or you donated the kid. That covers everything. So I think she would have done it. I think she would have understood, hey, the 3 is from 2 pregnancies, same lady. I think people would understand that and be like, okay, let's try this.
I know that their situation is making me confused on how I want to preface my questions. So, because just so much going on with them. Um, so him having the kids and been taking care of them, that would be no problem. Him actually being a donor, but never seeing the kids, would it be still cool for her to marry him?
Being a donor and not seeing the kids. The thing is, even if you didn't know kids transpired, if I'm your spouse, I need to know you made donations as in your 20s. If you made donations, I need to know. Because whether the bank used your donation or not, if there are kids out there and 18 years later, they open up that file and they can find you, I need to know. Because those kids will have claim, unless you have a prenup or postnup, those kids will have claim to anything that you create throughout your lifetime. And, we know that sometimes at somebody's funeral, the outside kids come and nobody knew who they were. So yeah. It's better to mitigate that, say, hey, just like ladies who donate their eggs, it's a beautiful thing, but it's always good to remember that and say, tell your future spouse, hey, I donated, I wanted to help, and it may be, a life out there that I created. I just don't know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Capricorn Moon Goddess says something, especially at the end, what I be thinking, oh, a donor, but not seeing the kids. I don't know if I'm knowingly marrying a donor. You still got 3 kids, in my opinion, and could have more. You know, that's the thing too, especially if you had did it at the sperm bank or some type of stuff. You might have a lot of children that's possibly running around, but maybe you got erased by the doctor that was putting his own. Maybe yours got cashed out because of the doctor. Okay,
and
so
if you look at that Netflix documentary about the man who got the 1,000 kids all over the world, it don't take but a moment, and they make money off of this. Some countries are flying them in, so it's not hard pressed to think that someone in their 20s, whether they donate blood for money or do something for money, hey, it's not hard pressed to think somebody could have done that.
Child, at this point, I'd be scared they cloning with your child, with your seed, you know what I'm saying, or whatnot, or doing something else with your DNA, child. At this point, but hey, to each his own. When you need money, you need money. I'm not gonna judge you for what you need it for. You just need it. So the last thing, what outside of everything that was going on, we just strictly he has the kids. He's supposedly just a donor, whatever and stuff. In the outside world, this information may never come out for a couple of months. It's like really get to know you. I spend some time with you. But we know this process is a little bit more sped up and more intimate. Would it have been better for him to come out day one with that information, day two with that information, or when he felt like it was the best time? Which time frame would Tyler had been better off suited?
I think not day one, because you got to get a feel for people, because you don't, just like in normal dating, you don't just throw your kids at people right away. But I don't think he should wait like Jessica did with Jimmy, in the pods previously, waited till like the day before decision to say she has a daughter. And that's just a guess. It was the day before. But you don't wait till you're all in and then say it. Say it by the time she's dwindled down, you have your first fiery dates, and then you had a longer date with her. Definitely by, the third date, if you realize you're on her list and she's the top of your list, you tell her. Say, had, if the topic comes up on the first day, do you have kids? It said, um, I'd rather get to know you better before I answer that question.
Right.
That's it. It's a matter of, and you could state it and phrase it like, it's not just do I have kids, it's also a conversation I'd like to have about, do I want kids with a future spouse? So let's get a little to know each other better before we broach that subject. There's ways to wiggle around the kid question.
I don't know. I probably would have just stuck it in like, what's the craziest thing you done? Oh, guess what? I donated my eggs. I don't know. I just had to try to break it in there some way, somehow, real quick. Like, I got to talk about it. And I don't, me personally, I can't say that I know off rip how I would introduce that particular thing. I know how I would introduce my kid, but I don't know how I introduce the fact that I donated something in such a capacity or whatnot, other than just trying to figure out a little bit about that other person too, see if they can handle back and forth or whatever.
The
I wouldn't
hard
just sit there and be like, I donated eggs.
Right. The hard thing is it's to a friend. I mean,
Hmm.
that's the hard thing. It's not like you could disappear from it. You donated to a friend, and you donated the biblical way. So, mm,
Yeah, that's a hard one right there. I mean, you're not just donating because when we start opening that question, it's gonna lead to more questions. It should lead to more questions. You know,
yes, yes,
it shouldn't
yes.
just be assumed that you donated to a sperm bank or anything like that or whatever. Because I know my first initial question, if I was to hear that for me, is like, do you ever long to see those children? That one is
Right.
going to kind of take me to the next place that I need to go or whatever and stuff like that. Would you ever think you alone to see the children? What if the children gets into something and they need, your blood or whatever because you have a unique blood? We gonna start getting into some deep details or whatnot. And I'm just like Capricorn Moon Goddess. Generally, I'm asking about kids on the first date. Do you got any? Do you want any?
Yeah, but as for me, is then you thinking about a future with me, and I really want to talk about that. Can I have fun with you right now? Can I
Oh no, I
talk to
said
you?
first date. I'm in the pause. It's a little bit different. We'll get there when I kind of
I
lead
ain't
it.
doing it on the first date in the pods neither.
I'm doing it in the pods. We need to know.
Mhm.
We on a sped eradicated situation. I needs to know.
See, then I'll become Matthew, and I will take over, and I would direct it. Do you
And
have?
then I'm
Do
gonna
you
think,
have? Do you
and then
have?
I'm gonna become Garrett, and I'm gonna think you hiding something. I'm like, I'm taking this person right off my list because they hide some goddamn thing. They keep asking me questions. I ask them a question, they turn around on me. Nope, they all. He was my number one.
Hey, it might work with
They all.
Ashley with the fairy tale. It may work with the fairy tale.
It may work with the fairy tale. It's sad that I don't know. I don't know if it's the biological clock because, of course, I had my daughter mid-age. I'll say mid-age, but technically I was 20 or whatever. I had her pretty early in some cases, late in some other cases. Uh, I didn't get that itch around 30, like, oh, it's getting time is ticking and everything and stuff. And I do know for a fact that once we do get over, now it's down to about 34 or whatever, it dropped down. It used to be about 36 and now at 35 and 34, you're geriatric. So I guess, the clock is ticking on that. But what I look at it too with all the medical technology and everything. And if you live the sober life for the most part, your eggs should still be good. Your eggs should still be good. They should be. We put so much crap in our body, who knows? But
girl.
I just feel like I don't get it because I never experienced it per se, but I also get it that she's in a rush and feeling a little bit desperate in the moment. And I hate to use that word on her like that, but when we talking about having a whole family and all that stuff, it does come in when we're talking about the biological clock. It's not desperate to have
Yeah,
a man.
right. It's the desperation to fulfill everything you want in your life, and you need time, and time is not on your side. So it's like I want to be, she's 31 when she entered Love Is Blind. Okay, what if we want to have 2 years just us, so we could really learn each other? Now I'm 33, and then we have to start having kids. Now we at the 35 mark. It's like she no longer has, a long window. It's no longer the first quarter, it's the fourth quarter. Game is online. So it's the desire to have the kids and have everything you wanted. But she forgot those fairy tales usually had a stepmother. Most of the fairy tales had a stepmother. So careful what you wish for, because you just might get it.
That part. Yeah. Yeah, I get it, but it's funny to watch her and she says Taylor is her best friend, and Taylor clearly was impressed. Taylor is like 30, 31, 30 something herself, and she talking about 7 more years. Like, man, Taylor, like, I got things to do. Kids is not on my priority list, okay? And so it's funny that some of our biological clocks work that way and some of ours don't. It just is like, I don't know. But yeah, it sucks that she's in this position. Do we blame production or hiring, let's say casting of this? Should they be at fault for this? Because this is crazy. I feel like some of
I
these
don't.
records, unless they're new, should have been able, and it's giving some of them are new, especially like the child support.
For me, it's not a matter of the casting. For me, it's the back office stuff. Production is negligent in not helping people with prenups. That should be standard in a package. I'm sorry. Because if you're not going to do a full check, or if you are going to have a Tyler with a full set of issues, the least you could do is protect someone from themselves. The least you can do. Even
Yeah,
with Hannah, Hannah is coming in with student loan debt. She acknowledged that. So at least Nick could have been protected from that. It can be mitigated, still have Tyler, still have all this drama. The two things we're like is that one, the disowning of the children, not acknowledging them, and two, not protecting Ashley from all of his financial woes. So, and a prenup would have had that, and we still would have had Tyler. We would still would have had all of these talks, but she would at least be protected, and they would have a prenup, standardized prenup for everybody. What's yours is yours, and then you can go and do a post stump on your own
we've
once you
never
all
heard
figure
from
out.
any. We never heard from any of the cast if they got prenups or anything in clause. Do they have that in math? Where
They
there's a standardized?
no, they do not have that in maths either, but they do have it in the UK on Australia shows. The UK on Australia maths and the UK Love Is Blind, because it is mandatory to have a prenup.
That's what it would seem like they would should have and would have on these things. I was thinking the same thing. Listen, when you think about it, and I know Jesse Wu and Simone, shout out to them. They kind of broke down some of the stuff. So the child support stuff is not until after he's been on the show already, to be honest, because it sounds like it didn't start until January of the following of last year, January of last year, 2023. This is 2024. Yeah, so they finish in October, not January 2023. When he left, after he left, it sounds like it started. I don't know. I have to go back and look,
I
but it
have to
didn't
go
sound
back
like it
because
started, huh?
yeah,
The
it
actual
sounded
child
like
support didn't sound like it started until after the show, but I know the court proceedings as far as him in custody was prior to all of that.
yes, right, right. But that would stand to reason if they handle it. Georgia does it all at one time. Your child support, the visitation access, Georgia does it all at the same
But
time.
if he's
So
living, the thing is though, they're not going to do child support while he's living with her. They're in the
Right.
household together. So when they
Right.
filed for the custody, they were in the household together. It's not until
Exactly.
he left the household, Bree is like, I need my support because you haven't paid anything since you left. So that's
That's
now a
what it
whole nother
sounds
thing
like.
that's afterwards or whatever. The scrubbing of the kids, I still don't agree. I see Netflix still being a part of that or whatever for their protection. I mean, to hype up their show or whatever and stuff. And then especially with the retelling of his side of the situation. They of course they're not going to interview Bree to say, "Hey, is this man really just a donor to your kids?" He's coming in telling these people, "I'm a donor to some kids of a friend of mine's or whatnot," and yada yada yada. Netflix is like, "Okay, we're gonna need you to scrub all of this stuff," or he volunteered. Don't really know. Allegedly, let me put my let me pull
I
my back.
mean, if we're not looking at it as he's a villain, if I did have kids and I'm going in and I didn't have kids in a relationship context, then I probably would hide it off of social media because I know the show, people are going to go to my social media and run rampant. It's
Hmm.
just a given. And they're going to ask, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? In all those pictures. I would scrub it of everything except pictures of just me. But so it wouldn't be just about the kids. It would just be every picture that has anybody else other than me would be gone. My
It's
mother,
definitely yeah.
everything.
I would just erase my whole page and just start a whole new, just start a new one. It'd be a lot simpler, or completely put that one on a full block and take everybody off that you could possibly screenshot or whatever, whatever. It's giving that he voluntarily did this on his own. Allegedly, it's given that he did that because I just don't see why I would scrub that when I know I'm gonna have to give that information at some point, unless he didn't plan on giving that information at all or whatever. Or I would like to know my thing. I would like to know when it was dated to scrub. You know what I'm saying? If it was scrubbed during the course of the show before they got back to Mexico or whatever, like, oh, you still not telling this girl about these kids?
Well,
Seriously?
oh, you need to get Zuckerberg on the line.
Right. Let me bring Sean up. Let me bring Sean up and add him to the conversation. Hey, Sean,
Hey, what's going on, Jay? What's up, Allison?
what's
Hey,
going on? We just briefing through this real quick before we get into the video I got to show y'all or whatnot about Ramses. But we just trying to figure out what the hell Tyler got going on besides being a crazy little American Psycho out here. This is wild.
not the American Psycho.
Wow, this is crazy because I just I don't even really scrub my page of exes. Like, I don't even really do that. So just imagine me scrubbing my page of my kids. It's not gonna happen. I don't care if my voice seems weird. I'm getting it back. I ain't have no voice 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Shoot, I'm barely trying to get it back. But I don't know. I mean, granted, of course, my kids is coming out of my life, so I don't see it. But I just feel like if I was a man, the way I was raised, I still wouldn't be able to do it. My dad made sure that he knew all my siblings knew each other, regardless if we was from the different mom and or whatever. We just all kind of grew up knowing each other, and we knew each other existed. So I just feel like I would be still that same way my dad is. All my children would know. That's pretty much the men in my family. They all their children know who their siblings are. They know who their father is. They know who their mom is. This is wild. This is wild to me. But what's your thoughts, Sean?
Yeah, no, it's duplicitous at the end of the day. Um, and I when the take you shared, Elson, I think that, I could have respect that too. Um, if he was to disclose it to Ashley, right? Because some people are private, and the internet can be a really nasty place once people get to know you. So they might, have commentary about your kids and things like that. So if you want to pull it off to protect the kids, then I definitely can respect him doing that. But clearly, we know that's not why he did that. He did that because he is, he wanted to protect himself and to protect the lie that he was creating, to go on this show. So, it just sucks that it is manipulative. And to me, it's like, it's even worse because he told her right at the last chance, right before it comes out, I'm going to tell you because you probably going to find out, and then it's really going to be worse. So let me tell you, right after we've met each other, right after we're falling in love, all of this good stuff. And now I'm going to drop this news on you, knowing what I know already, that you probably won't leave me. You'll be a little upset, but you ain't gonna go nowhere now because you're locked in. So yeah, I don't like the way he did it. I don't like the whole scenario. And if he could carry on like this, then no telling what else he's willing to do with other things that he should be telling.
Facts on facts on facts. I don't know. I do feel like if you're it's committing your life to a person, you have to be a bit transparent and honest on a lot of things or whatever. You're a very selfish person to just like bring your stuff into things. That's part of the reason like why I didn't want to get married so young, because I had accumulated student loans and debt and stuff. And so for me, I was just thinking I'm going to give that to my partner. I didn't want to put that burden on them when it's mine or whatever and stuff. I don't trust me. I said, this is my thoughts. I didn't say it actually happens, but I'm just thinking my debts is your debts.
You're a
You
beautiful
know,
soul, Jay. I
I
didn't think about
know.
that.
I'm pretty sure you didn't, but I be trying to find excuses not to get married. So there we are. Can't do it. I got debt. Till next time. Thank you guys for the well wishes. It's getting there. It's getting there. But yeah, no. But I just I don't know. I just be trying to. I'm just a person that try to. I think about the other person at the same time, and I know everybody doesn't think like this. But I think about my partner and long term and what's going to complicate all of the things. And sometimes it's just like, let me just go ahead and tell you, if I'm living a certain lifestyle, this is what I'm into. This is what I used to be into. This is what I did. As we get comfortable with each other, and I just feel like as I gotten older, I've been in a space where I'm seemingly in the pods. I tell you more sooner or whatever to get it out the way. Like, if you want to deal with me, you're gonna deal with me. Here's all my bull. Here's all my bull crap.
But you see, for me, that's oversharing too quick. I pace myself because I don't know if I even like you enough to share all that detail with you. I need to feel a vibe first. If you even make it to the second date, then maybe I share it. I mean,
You
I'm not
thinking
going.
first or third? I'm just talking about early on. It was somebody I'm
Okay,
thinking life with.
okay,
You know what I'm saying? Like
okay.
there are still parts and aspects of my life that I'm going to give you in pieces because I don't know what you did. I need to go through some of the things, know what you deal with, what you're capable of holding in and stuff. Everybody's not capable of holding all your information either. So I'm not going to just dump on you. I'm not Tim. Don't get me wrong. I'm not
But,
Tim.
well, in defense of Tim, we have the value of time. Okay, just add an E on to Tim. He
Yeah,
does
but I'm
not
just
have
not gonna keep
time.
dumping on my crap. Okay, I'm gonna put
This is
some.
the only time I have to dump.
I'm gonna put some potpourri in there.
Oh, somebody is going to listen to me? That's what it is.
Wait, hold up.
No,
That was fine, but Beyonce had the best record of all time. I'm not gonna interrupt you like that. I'm not gonna do it. But you're right. We do have the luxury of time in our space, though, a little bit. I don't know. I just feel like part of me could be in these pods and a part of me couldn't. I might be too open in the pods, but then also I'll probably be looking at y'all like y'all all some little liars. So, I still don't trust you, especially after watching this show and this season. I don't trust you. Come with I need a vanilla folder. Please give me a whole vanilla folder on you. Classified docs. I need it all.
well, I just need folks to be more comfortable with the talk of prenup and postnup. And I
Yeah.
got to say that I did learn, a lot about Maryland, which is unlike Georgia, that the wife's income is not used in the calculation of child support. In Georgia, the entire household income is considered. So the spouse's income is
So,
used in Georgia.
but
So
this, where this happened in DC or Georgia?
this is in Maryland. So
Theirs is in
what
Maryland.
we
So which one is
yep.
the white though? I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But El Cid, I mean, do they live in Maryland? Because they could live in either Maryland, Virginia, or DC. Depends.
Well, based on what we learned today from Simone Redwine and Jesse Wu's, channel today, everything for him was basically Maryland. So Maryland has a whole different system where at least the state is protecting Ashley.
Got it.
Okay, well, good. She's getting some protection, I hope. So, but I know in other places, and like I say, especially here in Cali, y'all married is y'all married or whatever. So her paycheck can become his paycheck, regardless if they bank account. I know Simone says if they bank account is shared or whatever stuff like that. But like sometimes once you married, that child support becomes her child support.
Hey, we know with Callie, we daggone show with Rachel Lynn Lindsay. Ooh,
Hmm.
the Black Bachelorette. That's a case right there.
So
The
yeah.
Kang wishes to be paid.
So maybe since where they at, they get to, she gets a little more protection. Lucky for her. Okay, we'll give her that. We'll give her that. But like I say, outside of everything, I don't know. I'm not gonna fault her for the decision that she made, probably on the show. If they are today still together and not going through something. We need counseling. We need to talk to a lawyer. We need some. And she's still saying, I'm going to stand by my man after the reunion date. Because I'm going to give her at least until the reunion date to keep honoring her contract. But after the reunion date, yeah, I'll give it to her. I'll give her that much grace. After the reunion date, I'll be like, yeah, I want to hear a month ago, 6 weeks ago, whatever the case may be, we called it off. I found all when y'all found all this information out. I found this information out, and I was like, "Oh heck to the no, no, no," or whatever. Or I better hear the whole clear up at the reunion. We've actually been seeing the kids and all that stuff, and that's another thing too. Because he's getting child support put on him, does not mean that he's not seeing the kids. Those are two different things. Being financially present and being actually present is two different things or whatever. So you can see your kids all day and the mother can still go put child support on you. We see it happen all the time. We got the dads that come visit us and all this stuff and be like, your mom pissing me off. She's trying to raise the child support on you again and all this stuff like that. He questioning if he making sure your money going to him and all that. Not all fathers just abandon their kids and not, and not completely see them. Financially, they may abandon them. So all of them pictures better pop back on that page with dates of 2024. And I ain't talking about October 30th, 2024. I'm gonna need that file from the photos in your gallery in your phone, and I need that date receipted on there with them pictures, okay? Saying you was with these kids at these dates. Here you are at Chuck E. Cheese, Magic Mountain, Disneyland. I don't give a crap. We gonna need all of it. I need to see it up in some different weathers. I need to see summertime in the sun. I need to see some spring and fall. I need all of it for you to make me to believe at this point you have not seen them kids at all. And my last thought before I let y'all have y'all's: if Ashley, ma'am, you are telling this man not to see the kids, are you okay with the fact that he is choosing not to see these kids now that you know all of this information? Ma'am, you need some help. You too, ma'am, need some help. I hope you're not. I don't think she was that one of them type of women. I pray that she's not. But you never know. You just never know with people these days. She seemed like she's very sweet and understanding and would be encouraging him to see his kids. But sometimes you just never know. Go ahead, y'all. What's your thoughts before we move on?
If Ashley wishes to stay and do the heavy lifting with Tyler, that is her husband. They have made vows. She has decided to stick with those vows. She could lift that heavy weight. I can't. I couldn't, because then I think you're gonna lie to me. Even when I ask you, like, why didn't you bring home something? You're like, they were out of stock. I'm gonna think you lying. I don't think if you lie about having children or about your children, there's nothing I think you won't lie about. Even if you tell me I look pretty today, I'm gonna look at you funny. But if she decides to stay with him, that is her husband. She's entitled to it by law. But my personal, oh, if I could write the Love is Blind reunion, as soon as they hit cheers, I will be standing up and pulling the manila folder out from under the cushion and handing it to him and say, "You have been served." That would be my prop for Ashley for to serve him the divorce papers right there on the cushion, because technically the reunion doesn't get shown till a week later. So technically she could do it on set, hand it to him, and say, "Hey, you have been served. I'll see you in court. Thank you, Love is Blind." That'll be my personal, but I know that ain't gonna happen. But Sean,
Sean?
Yeah. I just, you know, the whole situation is just so messy. It's just hard to even contrive how anything good could come out of this. Because I just would hate to feel like this is how my marriage started. It started on a lie and a big, um, a big one at that, and something very crucial. And then it also speaks to his character. You know, just obviously the paperwork don't lie. He wanted to be part of these kids at some part of these kids' lives. You know, and he then made a very deliberate choice to not do so. So for me, I just I don't know. I don't know how any good could come with this. I mean, if Ashley is discouraging him to be out of the kids' lives, again, like you said, Jay, I don't think that. I don't think she would do that. But even if she did, that makes her a not good person too. But ultimately, it's still up to the father of the kids to make the choice. And if you're gonna stay with somebody that doesn't, the condition to be with them is that you're not with their kids, then that speaks even more about you. So that's just terrible. So yeah, I think very lowly of him. Sorry, and I don't really think there's anything much that's gonna change that. Um, yeah, until he has some accountability for the things that he's done, realizes how deceptive he's been just all around. Yeah, I can't look at him through any different lens. And hopefully, Ashley, once she comes out of the fog, God willing, there's a miracle and she has come out of it and she's made a choice today versus the choice she made, last year when they, shot the show. So yeah, that's my thoughts.
he's a flawed man, Sean.
Am I supposed to respond to that, or are you just throwing out hyperbole because I don't know what to say to that?
We all are.
Exactly. We all have flaws, and I'm not saying he should be perfect, nor am I professing and being self-righteous that I'm perfect, but we all should have moral standards. We all should, have a clear concept of right and wrong. And when we've made wrongs, we should all be grown enough, adult enough, man enough in his instance to be like, you know what? I made some mistakes.
He seems like he could be a good apologizer and gets forgiven and end up falling right back into the milk to make butter again.
Would Ashley call him a charmer?
Oh, champ.
What the heck, my phone?
Drake is really a sicko, man.
Now my phone literally turned on the whole thing by itself. Anyway, I mean, he like Ashley called him a charmer. She said he's a charmer, so he's definitely good at it. Clearly, he's when you in order to be a alleged scammer, there's a charm, there's a finesse that you have, there's an art that you have of speaking and getting away with things or whatnot. So has this been highlighted? Y'all go over the links there in my thing. So I was going to try to get through some of Jesse Wu's and Simone's thing, but I don't think I'm gonna have time tonight. But the link is in my description, so you guys can go watch the video that they put up today. You know, this man has been house hopping for a while and all of these things, and not paying rent. You know, I don't know how it works in DC, but out here in Cali, child, you get an eviction. You got one eviction on your thing. They probably allow you not to get on the not to get another apartment ever again. So it sounded like we on that wave right now that he can't even get an apartment again anymore. I don't know how Maryland, DC laws are with it. You know, it used to be a time out here that you can just pay first and last, and you have 2 good months at an apartment, and then you can move on. I don't know who got all that moving money, because moving is expensive, but do you, boo, do you. But yeah, so I don't know about this man, y'all. I don't know. And it really does sucks, because, you know, we be rooting for our Black couples on the show. It was a really good run up until I realized this non-Black officiate was telling the story of how slaves had to jump the room. I felt a little some type of way about that part.
I felt some kind of way when he started with the struggle love. He started his whole sermon with the struggle love. Just like her daddy, Ashley was beat over the head with, don't leave this man. No matter what happens, it's going to be brighter skies. There's always going to be a storm. And then here come the officiant saying the same thing. I'm like, the universe is against Ashley at this point. I mean, my golly.
Yeah, I was just like, but when you grown, you make your decisions. You got to live with the consequences of your decisions. So here we are. Okay, she is living with it. I'm not going to beat her over the head with it. She got some information as far as we know. We're not sure what all information she got, but of course, I'm pretty sure he didn't tell her that all the situation that he had as far as living and texting some other girl the night he decided to tell her, allegedly. I'm assuming that's the night he decided to tell her about these kids. But, you know, it could have been another night. We don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I was leery of him when he said they're going to be folks saying all kinds of crap about me when we get back.
But the funny thing is, it was 3 men that did that, Jared and Steven. So when all 3 of them started doing it, I was just like, okay, so y'all just worried about, which is going to naturally happen when you get off the show, people start digging into you. But you know your telltale sign is when they start doing the interviews early. I just want to see what kind of edited I got.
Tyler was the first one. He was the first out the gate.
Who's Jared? Remind me. Who's that?
Oh, I didn't mean Jared. I said Jared Garrett. I meant to say Garrett.
Garrett. I was like, who? And that's like, I know I don't remember people's name, but I definitely don't remember a Jared. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's my fault. That's me. But yeah, before we talk about Marissa and stuff, because I want some of their conversation to lead into the video that I have of Jessica Daniels. She did a nice little breakdown investigation. Shout out to her. I have the link in my description, so you guys watch her whole video. I'm just gonna get through some of it. But she found the ex-wife, y'all. She found the ex-wife, and you know what? Once she found the ex-wife, I was starting to piece some things together about Ramses, but we'll get into that. But before we get into that, I want to go through the looks for the reunion, y'all. Let's go. Let's react to some of these looks for the reunion. And I know y'all was looking for rings and everything, but as I was picking these pictures up, a lot of them don't have it on. A lot of them are not couples anymore. And the one couple that we know for sure is still a couple. They had their hands either in their pockets or placed in a way that you don't see their ring any daggone way. So, which was still telling to me enough to know that they have rings on.
Or the
Anywho,
tan line, or the tan line if
or the tan
Garrett
line.
made it to Cali.
You made it to Cali, buddy. But yeah, let's look into some of these. First up, we got Alex. We got Alex. Let me get to try to making this bigger. Let me go onto my other screen so we can zoom in on this beauty here because she is looking good, baby. I'm loving this hair, the dress, the body. Yaddy, 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 baby. Give it. I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
think she could do no wrong.
yeah. How many dresses on the floor in the apartment right about now?
All of
Okay,
them.
okay, okay. She looked
But
good.
baby, look, she might
She
not clean
looks
up that apartment, but she clean
amazing.
up well.
You know, seeing her out here on this, she looked beautiful. I hope she come with some, today's footage that the apartment cleaned. Okay,
She might have hired a cleaner by now. It's okay.
get her two brothers to do it.
He tired of her bossing her around.
Like
Sean,
Tim.
Sean, what you think? No, because Tim will have a picture of him and the dog up in our house. Sean.
She looks beautiful.
Oh, okay. That was dry.
He does not wish to seem like he's objectifying her, probably.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't want to nitpick, because my first instinct is to nitpick a little, but I'm not going to do that to her because she does look beautiful. So
But I feel like she do got heels on, so there's that. I don't know.
she does look beautiful. I'm not gonna take that away from her,
Mm,
at all. She definitely does.
beautiful. Anywho, next we got the lovely Ashley. I like this black dress. I don't know, something for me. I ain't got much top. That's probably why I be feeling some type of way. But it be looking like y'all boobs can't breathe. And of course
Ooh,
it does, baby. They be snatching y'all, don't they?
looks like the ribs have been broken to
Mm,
get that together. Truly snatched. It's like, how is
mhm.
she and Alex going to sit?
They not. They
But
just
it's
gonna lean like this.
it's giving it's giving a glamorous Morticia if she wanted to do that for Halloween.
Definitely, I can see it.
Hmm.
Does look good though. Does look good. Sean, any thoughts?
Oh, I think she looks stunning. I
That,
do.
that was
Yeah,
a
no, I think she looks absolutely beautiful. Yeah, she
That
really.
hourglass got him.
Yeah, no, just the whole thing. I mean, I think she just overall just looks. She just looks amazing. Yeah.
listen. DC is not that far from Jersey. You know,
Mm-mm.
it's
She
not
she
that
got a lot of work to do for me. Nope. I'm. We over here talk about her running away from the red flags. I'm not running towards the fire.
Sean's
She
like, you
got
see her ex-husband or
yeah.
maybe
Or,
ex-husband?
it don't even look like X. It look like current. So yeah, it's a no for me, big dog. But I think she doesn't take away from her beauty. It's
Mhm.
undeniable, and I just think everything about the way she looks, it suits her. You know. So
Definitely,
those are my
definitely.
thoughts.
Let me go on to the next. We got the lovely Miss Brittany, looking like a Barbie doll.
Brittany is giving trophy wife ready. Okay.
Baby oil down. No diddy. Okay. Sean, any
She looks nice.
lovely lady.
Beautiful gowns. We'll just leave it at that. Beautiful gowns. Beautiful gowns.
Beautiful gowns, beautiful
In the words of the late great Aretha Franklin, beautiful gowns.
never gets old, baby. That never
No,
gets
it
old.
doesn't, and it says so much without saying everything. So that's we're gonna leave that.
I thought he was going to say no comment.
Listen, it was nicer than whatever Joan Rivers would have said. No, she looks good. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I'm not gonna say I'm a fan of this outfit, but Garrett's glow up. because I've been on his TikTok page. I like this hair on him. I like he needs to keep the long hair. I'm feeling it. I'm with it or whatnot.
He,
It's
he
kind of
had the
looking like
Zach
he's been
glow
in
up.
Ramsey's closet, but you know,
He got the Zach glow up.
Zach Morris.
Yeah, Zach came with the hair and the beard.
Oh yeah,
After
yeah.
he
Oh,
was
that's
married
Zach.
with Bliss.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's given that Love Is Blind glow up. But apart from the festive jacket, it's given Beach Boy.
Yeah.
That shirt is given Beach Boy. I'm sorry, but he loves spearfishing, so I guess it fits.
Hmm. As the resident male in the house, how's he doing on his swag?
Nah, he's a man, so I don't have to be, measured. Nah, this ain't it for me. Sorry. He looks like a Versace matador. I ain't liking it. I don't like the hair atop his head.
I
I
like
don't like the jacket at all. I like the slacks because I just recently got a couple pair of slacks like that, like the more of not the tapered but the fuller leg. So I
hmm
like the slacks and the shirt, but that jacket is too flowy, you know, and it should have been tailored. No, it's no hair envy. His hair should be. I think it should be like cut
no
differently. It just
hair
looks
envy.
long at the front. I mean, short at the front and long at the back. It looks. I can't. I mean, maybe this picture isn't doing it justice, but yeah, I don't like any of it. Sorry, but outside of that, I do like the. Like I said, I like the pants. I like the slacks
Hmm.
and the dress shirt.
Yeah.
So
Well, at least I ain't seeing no echo so far, so we good. Ain't seen none on the men or the women's. This is the new and approved Hannah. What we say?
Next,
Oh damn, Sean.
she looks nice. You know, definitely we see that she's trimmed down. You know, I think she's probably more comfortable in her body, so she looks nice. Face is she's a very pretty face. I don't think I hopefully no one can take that away from her. I think she is a beautiful face.
She does have a beautiful face. I want
Yeah.
to see this dress in action because in this pose, in this picture, I don't like it on her frame. Nothing personal to her stuff. I don't like it on her frame. I think this is a Zendaya type frame dress, like a small frame dress. um,
you need some hip to do the cutout,
yeah,
some definition.
yeah, yeah. That's what I'm saying. If I'm going with a small frame that is just like almost straight up and down, it'd be Zendaya because the top will be a bit more higher where I can get more of her midsection or whatnot. But I want to
But
see it in motion.
this is not the night for a crop top dress. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I need to see it in motion though. Maybe in motion it looks a lot better. So when we get to the reunion and she's moving around, I'll see it then. But yeah, in this photo, yeah, it's not really giving much to me. I don't know. All right. Oh, is this good old Leo? Uh, Dressed as I expected, and I see ankle.
Yeah, he's dressed as an art dealer. Go figure.
It's given. This is what my go-to at all my black tie events, my affairs. What you
Well,
say,
at least he's there. At least he's there. I like that he is present. Sean,
It's very nicely tailored, so I like that. Are those pants? I can't really tell. Are those slacks or jeans? Are those like tuxedo pants or are those jeans? I can't really tell. But either way, I think he looks good. The shirt could have, the open collar shirt. I don't know
you're
what he's.
giving. You're giving. I don't know. As I zoom in, I can't get a very clear. It's kind of giving jeans a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. See, I'm not crazy about that. I mean, when it's yeah, no. I mm, I
I
think it
did.
takes a certain kind of suave to pull that off, the tuxedo jacket and jeans. And I mean, yeah, but I mean, he don't look bad. He looked better than old boy. What's his name? Garrett. He looks
Eric.
better than him. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I would wear that before I wore what Jared wore.
got you.
Maybe
And his
Jared wore what
tailoring,
his
his
wife put
tailoring,
out.
is impeccable. That's so important for me, especially when you're dressing up. It's like how your clothes are tailored. I know you don't
Hmm.
like ankle, but that's like the perfect break.
No,
It's
you
not
know
too
what? It's
much.
yeah, it's a certain amount. It is. It's not too much. I'll
Yeah,
just say
yeah. His that I like. I would wear that length. I think that's
it's
nice.
it's it's a certain amount, and then it's a certain style with the ankle. Like ankle is not for every style, just because you want to have it tailored to a thing. There's some suits and there's some type of jackets and shirts that go and make your ankles, and especially the shoes. The shoes is very important to a good ankle look. But I feel like you can't be having just jeans or this and just having your ankles all out as a man. To me, I don't know. That's just
Yeah.
personally to me. Let's go on to Marissa. Let me zoom back out a little bit. She's giving me a little Diana Ross glam. Okay, come on, zoom out. Damn it, you zoomed all in to her sparkle. Um, Basic.
It's giving cutesy sweet 16, not,
She's giving
you know.
70s glam, like
Hmm.
low, low. I don't know. Maybe, maybe if she wore like a shawl with it or something,
That
especially
may
the way
age
she's,
it.
huh? I don't know, necklace, something. I don't know. It's
Maybe it's
missing.
slit up the side.
Yeah, it's missing something. And I'm sorry, I'm not a fan of pointy toe shoes, so that's just me. I do have some, but I'm not a fan of them all the time. I would have probably wore some strap ups, let my toes glow. No, no, but beautiful lady,
I
Sean.
think she looks beautiful. I
Hmm.
like the color of the dress with her skin tone. Um, I've even seen like just a couple of her TikTok pictures. And she just the show didn't even do her justice. She's really, really beautiful. You know, I really like this look. Similar, you said it, Jay, and I would like to see her. I want to see her toes, but that's just because, I'm not working with a whole lot of sense when it comes to shoes and feet. So, but I think I would have liked to see that. Nice to see her nice little cute little feet painted whatever color she wants. But yeah, I would have liked to have seen that. Yeah, and then see that strap, right around her ankle, maybe even an
Exactly.
anklet. I'm going off. All right, this is.
The,
And not
the, the
listen.
toe
Don't get me
cleavage, the toe
the toe
cleavage.
cleavage, right? No, but don't get me wrong. I feel like I'm not the best style. I'm not the best stylist. I'm not gonna act like I'm a stylist or anything like this, but I feel like closed toe shoes goes good with like a skinny jean or where you can actually get the toe cleavage. But like a long dress to me, I feel like it's weird. A pencil dress or whatever, it feels weird in a long dress. But some people like their closed toe shoes. Do y'all? I just don't like the pointy toe shoes. I always think about witches. I don't know. I always think of witch boot.
That's get up in the corner, kill a roach shoe. That shoe is pointy.
The roach steppers.
You get right in that corner and kill that roach. Mash it, boy.
Got
Ain't going nowhere.
I'll be
them.
wearing, I'll be wearing something with an ankle boot.
Mm,
Not with a gown, Elsit.
I said I will be wearing something. I
Oh,
didn't say a
okay.
gown. Something. I may be in a pantsuit because I love those pantsuit that Taylor had her bridesmaids in.
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
not a revenge dress. No lie, Katie. Okay, baby. You should have came up in here like, Negro, you turned this down 6 months later. The hell with you. Let me show you what you missed out on, damn it. But she's classy. We'll just leave it at. It's very demure, very
Yeah,
classy.
that's the right word. But it looks to
Yeah.
me like I like when you can, you still see her curves. Like I
Hmm.
like that. You can see she has a nice body. Yeah, no, that's why I like it.
And you
It's
know what?
like
This
subtle
another one.
without being over the top.
That's why I said this another one in motion. When she's in motion, it's probably really. We'll see. It's probably really
Probably
beautiful.
look see through in motion. We don't know
Yeah,
the real color of the dress.
yeah, and it fits her frame, like you said, Sean, really well. So it's 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 not
Well
something. It's just
tailored.
for me. It's just kind of missing something. It just needs something else, like this, a bracelet, a necklace. Something is just missing. I would have opted in for the necklace and shorter earrings instead of the long earrings, or more flashier earrings, maybe. I don't know. It just feels like something is just she's just lacking a little something for me. But yeah, I definitely wouldn't went there. See, this what I would have been wearing for Ramsey's ass. Like, hold up, ho. Let me remind you what it is. But then also, I wouldn't wear this particular top because I ain't got no boobies. Hers is nice. I don't have any. I have to go with a different top personally. What y'all think about Miss Monica? Oh, neither one of y'all got thoughts, huh? Mm.
Oh, I just been going in the normal order we've been going in. Yeah, no, she looks nice. She looks nice. She looks beautiful. I don't want to say just nice. She looks nice, and she's got a great body. So this look is tricky, with all those cutouts and the crisscross flip flaps, everything it got going on. And sis is she got this. She looks great.
Mhm.
It's an embellished toga style, look, but it kind of looked, off. It looks. I know it's probably A-frame, but it seems like it's higher on one side and then the other. It doesn't seem, centered. But she
It's a
does look beautiful. Yeah,
kind of curves
yeah.
around back, going back up towards the back.
Right. The neck is in a different way and the cups, but she looks beautiful. It's a beautiful color for her skin tone.
That's what I was thinking too.
Absolutely. Woo.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
thinking that's a gorgeous color for her skin tone for sure. All right,
That's a revenge dress.
that is definitely a revenge dress, baby. That's why I said I'll be wearing something like this. All right, we done threw me off with the shoes already, Nick. All right. See, this is why Sean be winning the mature contest, because goddamn it, Nick.
Hey, Nick gonna come out and say, these are season 5 Jordans.
What, his college days? His college days? Goddamn it.
This is the first Jordans I bought with my first ever
No,
paycheck.
I'm going straight to these shoes right now. God damn it. What are those?
I think they're
color
Steve
are those?
McQueen's. I can't tell.
I can't tell because it's
Can
blurry
you
too.
zoom in? They look like, because I have those.
But
Yeah, I
Sean,
think those are white Steve McQueen's. I have
Sean,
those.
they don't look like the ones you had. The ones you had look nice.
But
These is giving more
again,
platform. You know what? That's probably what is bothering me. It's giving more platformy.
yeah, well, that's the Steve McQueen sneaker is like that, but I wouldn't wear
Yeah, it
that.
is.
I wouldn't wear that for the reunion. This looks like business casual on a Friday at work. You know, like it looks like he's gonna go to sell a nice house. This
Baby, he
don't look
probably
like
came from some of the
I,
nice.
That's what he's doing.
well, not here in this picture. He's not. He should be showing up.
He
He
came
should be
straight from
showing up
work.
for a reunion.
He came
Exactly.
straight
That's
from
what he
work.
looks like.
And
Yeah,
he
that's what
went
he
from the
looks
boy
like.
to a man to back to a boy.
Yeah. See, I'm
Nothing.
gonna show it on camera because I was cooking earlier, so that's why I couldn't come on camera.
Oh,
But
shoot.
let's see.
Let me
Let's see
add,
if you.
let me add Coach. Hey, Coach. We're just going to the thing before we get to the.
Yeah, I
See,
don't think it's
Meat and
gonna show up
potatoes.
right because the camera's in the back. Hold on. Will this work?
here,
Oh,
I'm gonna do
see?
that.
Can you
Let me.
see?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
let
yeah,
me frame. Let me
Yeah.
frame
See,
these.
that looks like the same shoe, right?
It do.
similar.
Yeah.
It's
No,
similar.
it's
Yes, I don't know.
no
I guess
navy
it's
blue
the
on the
way.
Negro, did
back.
you get a job?
Not.
Kojo, don't talk about my business online, bro.
I'm asking or something, because why are
No,
you
no,
so
no.
late?
Kojo, we are on YouTube.
Oh, snap, we're live. Oh, snap, I thought we were behind the scenes,
Yes,
my bad.
my God, Coach. I'm gonna mute you. Lord Jesus.
Bro, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Forgive me, Sean. I thought we were behind the scenes. Because he's showing his trailers. I'm thinking to myself, we're behind the scenes. I'm
No,
so
because
sorry.
we're talking
I
about Nick
apologize.
right now. I'm sorry. I should
I am
have
so
more
sorry.
you.
That's
We're
my
talking
fault.
about
Sean, I
Nick.
apologize.
But Sean, the way you wore them, I think that's the difference because it didn't look bad when you had it. Plus,
They were the same
the
trainers?
setting was different. No, the shoes.
Are they the
Remember
same
when we was
shoes?
in Atlanta? When we was in Atlanta, he got those
Not
the
the
same shoes
same.
that Nick got on. Can you see Nick's picture?
This is
I'm
not
not
the
gonna
I'm
play
same.
with
gonna fly to the UK and personally, Kojo's gonna be unalived
And bop him with
by
those shoes.
one
Bop
business
him with the
day.
shoes.
My bad. Bro, I'm so sorry.
Thank
I
you,
really
Frank.
thought it was
That
behind
can
the
definitely
scenes.
be your own people.
Because I saw the blue thing in the corner of the screen too, so I thought to myself, we're not live yet, so my bad. I'm so sorry. I
See what
apologize,
happens when
Sean.
you don't
Forgive
control the
me.
whole system?
My bad. Forgive me, bro. Sorry.
Anywho, we just giving thoughts, some final thoughts before we get into the Marissa video.
So
Um,
Nick is wearing platform, so he's the same height as Hannah? That's what we're saying?
Damn. Y'all better leave that boy alone with the platform shoe. Leave
I
that
don't know.
boy alone.
All right, so what y'all think about this outfit? And he is wearing slacks. It looks to be slacks.
It's not
I
a
mean, the
bad look.
shirt is
It's
I
a
think it
white.
just
regular,
looks.
degular, schmegular suit. You know, it's nothing special. He don't look bad, but it's just like a regular, degular, schmegular suit. You know.
It don't look bad at all. It's just I think it just doesn't. It's not. I don't know if it's the picture or whatever. It just doesn't look fitted. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
The bottoms, yeah.
Yeah,
And trainers look a bit
definitely not.
older. That's the only thing. But other than that, it looks cool. It might be the angle the photo's taken.
Better than Garrett.
Still better than Garrett. Damn. All right.
Damn.
Definitely, I agree with that for sure.
Garrett is pulling up rank.
Garrett
All
about to
right.
get worse dressed.
No,
You better leave
wait.
that
He
man
might
alone.
not. He might not, though. We might not.
We
We
ain't
still
seen the
got some
Ram
more.
yet. We ain't seen the Ram yet.
Y'all can't get a Ramsey. This brother can get away with it. I keep telling
Wait,
y'all.
No, he
okay, wait
can't.
a minute.
No,
We
no,
zooming
no.
into this shirt right here. First of all, baby, this shirt got action.
Yeah, y'all don't know. This brother is pulling the
The
ladies with his
shirt, the
shirt.
lapel pins, he just missed it too much. He went from
That
no
You
shirt
don't.
longer
is
two
Yeah.
dangling
hot.
locks to too much.
This
No.
brother is using the dandy seduction tool by Robert Greene, like he said. Listen, he's out here catching the flies with this particular dress sense. You don't know if you don't know. It's not for you,
He's not
Elsie. It's not
dandy,
for you,
Kojo.
Jay.
This is androgynous. He's not a dandy.
That isn't androgynous dandy.
Right.
No, mm-mm.
There's a difference.
Androgynous. I mean, dandy is more just fit and tailoring and like a throwback kind of style. His
He's
style
definitely
is not
giving
that. He is more of like
Oh,
eclectic.
androgynous, hippy dippy
Dandy's a
no.
dippy.
classic man.
Robert Greene's book, Dandy, is androgynous. So basically, they can flip
Mm.
between the two. They play with both sides. So that's why I mean that. So Dandy, not in a traditional sense, but the description that Robert Greene gives, Dandy plays on both sides. So his seduction technique would be a dandy. He can fit with both the gay men and the ladies. And so
Or the
his
UK,
style is like
the
Prince
UK.
style.
Okay.
Hmm?
The UK
I mean,
version.
His style is definitely Prince style because it's a long sleeve and he put it over the fingers. Like, okay, got the finger
it's just
slits
it's
and
not for
stuff.
me. But like Sean said, that I mean, I'm not for you. So, you know,
Listen, I give him this because it takes a certain type of man to be able to pull it off, and he's pulling it off. It's a lot.
it helps that
It's
he's
a
got a
lot.
handsome face.
I mean, but even his frame, because the shirt and everything is fitted to it and stuff. So his frame
Mm,
is given a space to be able to pull it off. It's different.
listen,
It's giving rock star. It's giving. I'm
it
in,
is.
music business or something like this. It's giving Hollywood fashion right now. To be honest, I see a lot of people running around Hollywood looking
It's
like
giving
this.
confused. It's giving confused.
Well, Hollywood is in confusion right now, so it's a lot
If you
going on.
choose between the glitter and the color and the shoe black and white, I mean, it's giving confused.
Yeah,
Well,
so
it's the
it's just,
detail in the
and I
shoe.
think that's my issue. Is like if you want to go with this kind of like rock star, funky kind of vibe he got going on, androgynous, I think you could have done like two of those things, like the pants and the jacket, and then maybe the shoes, and then just like a black t-shirt. You know what I mean? But like it's just like way too much going on. It's like I'm confused. It's like, yeah. I mean, it's his style, so I'll give him that. I still don't like Garrett's. I like Garrett's less more than I dislike this.
Mm,
Because this is Ramses. You know what I mean? Like
right.
it's not like far off from who he showed up on the season. So hey,
His pants look like the old native print from back in the 80s. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But
I
you know
don't
what?
like
That's
this.
coming back around. It's coming back around. It's coming back to style and stuff. So
You're saying sorry, but some of Prince's outfits were outrageous, my friend. Crop tops.
They
Nah,
definitely
So
were.
you can't even group
no,
him and Prince in
no.
the same
No.
category,
Prince was
bro.
He
having
wouldn't be
crop tops in
No, I'm
he
not.
wouldn't
2024.
be
I
he
think
wouldn't
you're
be
missing
mixing
the
We
colors,
would be
point.
looking at him
No,
Kojo.
some type of
Kojo.
way.
He wouldn't be
I
mixing
mean,
colors like this.
Cujo. Prince wore
Come on.
tights. He wore bodysuits. I'm not saying Prince didn't dress feminine. What I'm saying is Prince's style was impeccable. Like he was not like all over the place like this. Like a zebra threw up and a lion threw up, and they got attacked by a tiger. Like this just
If
looks
he
like a lot of things
if
happening.
he wore glittered trousers that were black with this, I would be like, okay, rock star. Keep the blouse sequence and make a pants out of it. Totally.
I'm just gonna say that he's shocking, and his shocking is working. It's seductive to some people out here. I'm gonna say it straight. It's
Shocked that
seductive
he
and
ain't got his
shocking.
two
Them in the
twigs
pants.
hanging, according to Seaway.
Yeah, but we keep talking about the two twigs, which is gonna get him the girls. This is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, we keep cussing him, but he gonna still get these girls because it's gonna work for him.
He already got Katie in the chat. She said she liked this. She liked this
See?
outfit.
You don't realize we think because he's not our market. Let's be honest. He's not our market. If I was gay, he's not my market. You know what I'm saying? I'm not, but I'm just saying. You know what I mean? But so I don't understand it. I don't understand fashion in general, to be honest. So I'm not the best person to comment, but I can understand that this particular look that he's got going on. I see something. I see what he's trying to do. It's striking. You know what I mean? It's striking. It's hitting you. It's making you question. It makes you want to go, what the heck's going on? By the time you fall in time, you got there, you're now sucked in.
Kojo,
to
we don't need
Ramses,
this
the
dark
third
art
one.
analysis.
I know.
Visually,
I'm
it's
just saying.
unappealing, okay?
I know.
I'm glad you
Don't
have
hate on
broken
the
it
brother. That's what I'm
down
trying to say.
in his dismissive,
he's
avoidant
halfway
dress
ready for
style,
bed.
but he looks horrible, all right? And that's all it is to it. I don't care who wants to screw him tomorrow. He don't look good, all right? That's it. And we can just move on. God damn.
What is the actor from Pineapple Express? And
Yeah, man, leave that man alone.
is it
It's
Pineapple
a good fit.
Express and all this? What is that movie? Who is
Tom
that?
Hanks
No,
is
Seth.
in Pineapple Express.
No, Tom Hanks. Did you say Tom Hanks in Pineapple Express? What? Oh, what is that man's name? He was making all these daggone movies at the time. This is who Steven looks
Seth
like.
Rogen.
Yes, Seth. Definitely looking like Seth Rogen in this. I don't know. Steven looks okay.
He looks great.
Yeah. I'm not even mad at the ankles on this because this is like that right cut that we was talking about, Sean, where it's just right there where it's supposed to be. Because I don't
Does
really
look
see
good.
his ankle.
Ankle
Love the
cleavage,
shoe.
like the tailor said. Ankle
Mhm.
cleavage.
Love the shoe.
Yeah,
You
nice
see his
shoes.
belt,
The shoe is
The
good.
belt is nice. The blazer
but
is
it's a velvet jacket.
crush. Yes, it's giving crush.
It's
I
an
like it.
evening event. Yeah,
I like it.
that's perfect for that.
I'm
He
And
allergic
it's
to
looks
on
velvet.
TV. And it's on
he
TV,
I'm
so
for
it
looks
hits
Ramses
the
as
light.
well.
he's best dressed for the guys so far right now.
Yeah, I
I'm
agree.
I
allergic to
disagree, but I hear what
velvet.
He
you're saying.
nailed it.
Ugh.
I agree. We're gonna ignore the no. Just take you some Benadryl, shout, and keep it moving, sis. All right.
He looks alright. He looks alright. He's going to dinner. I'm not gonna complain.
Yeah, looking good.
Yeah, we complained that Nick coming from work. Okay.
Well, he came from work, okay? Because to a thing. All right. We got the Beyonce. We got the body plate on. Okay, girl. All right. This is giving Met Gala for Love Is Blind, but okay, do your thing, boo. But she definitely giving a leg that we needed some people to have, so I'm never mad at that. And we got the shoes is appropriate for me. I like the shoes
I
with it.
love the shoes.
Hmm Actually, this was all the Victoria's Secret runway shoes this year, so she's spot on with it. I think Taylor looked good, fellas.
Yeah, she looked good.
Yeah,
I mean, the slit's a bit high for
I
me,
mean,
but she looks good.
yeah. I guess I'll start with the compliments first. Like her looks beautiful. You know, I like. She has a great body. She's in great shape. The shoes are sexy. But I just really, I'm not. I don't personally like it. I don't like the top specifically.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I hear what you're saying.
it's nice. She still looks pretty. You know, nobody
Oh, I
yet
didn't recognize her.
looks. They all look great.
hmm Top is a bit much. I agree. But hey, I guess you want to bring the Met Galas to Love Is Blind, do you, sis? You got it. All right, Tim. Tim is like he going to the okay. See, I'm seeing a lot of daggone sock ankle. Okay, I don't like it, but y'all men tell me this is y'all. It's y'all department. I don't trust nobody but myself.
I love a good ankle now. I can't lie to you. I used to talk about it, but I got a little ankle coming. You know what I'm saying to you? I got a little ankle going. It's not a mad thing, but I think it's a decent fit. It's given that I'm going to a business conference, but I like it. You know what I'm saying to you? I
It's the
like it.
red sock for me. It's not the ankle. It's
Oh,
the
it's
red
Red
sock.
Sox.
Oh, he's a loafer?
Yeah, I
Uh,
can't tell. I'm
Can you
I
even
confirm,
looking
can't
at
tell.
on
Sean?
my
It's
TV,
blending.
and are those boots or socks? I can't. Oh,
It's
it's a
blending too bad. I can't
Oh
make it
no,
out
it's
either.
laces. Look on the left, it's laces.
These are
It's not
shoes. They're
loafer.
laces.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
They're not a loafer. It's laces on the shoes. But I'm just like I can't tell here if it's blending into the carpet a bit.
Yeah, it's Lennon. Yeah.
So when I zoom out, it looks like socks, like red socks.
Then
And
he
I
should
don't
have
think
worn
that.
a red shirt.
Yeah, because and on top of it, the suit looking
Not a
brown.
red shirt. Oh my
But
god.
no, that'd be too much. But the suit looks brown.
Elsie
Yeah,
wanted to
he
finish
looks.
him
I
off.
mean, it's nicely tailored. I'll give him
Hmm
that.
What he
It's
would have needed a red handkerchief if he has red socks on. That would have been the accent mark he would have needed.
And then he would be matching Alex.
Well, he's still ratchet with the red socks, even
Yeah,
though he don't
maybe
want to
when
see
we
her.
see him, like you said, for some of the people like in motion, maybe when we see him like
Yeah,
sitting down, we'll see how it all comes together. We know he likes to cross his legs, so we'll see the
we'll
whole we'll
definitely
see
see.
how it all comes
He
together.
probably got stretch
So
pants. He probably got
for
stretch
right
Has
pants.
he
now it
lost?
No.
looks
Has his
yeah.
hairline gone further back?
Oh
No,
God,
no,
dang it,
no,
let's
no,
move
no.
on.
El Cid, Jesus
I'm
Christ.
moving on.
It's just that
Quickly,
I saw
expeditiously, expeditiously.
It's a damn shame. This man is looking halfway decent in this suit. God damn it! It's a damn shame. This is a crime.
His brother, he also got the no socks. It looks like he got a little side part. I don't see socks.
Yeah,
Or
he
if he
got
is,
no
he's wearing
socks.
the ankle socks. Working ankle socks he might be wearing.
I know because on this foot it looked like he has a little white, but it just could be the light of it,
Yeah,
and it just look. I could see skin with a little
fleshy.
bit,
Yeah,
but it looked like you
look like
ankle sock
loafer.
right there. It's loafer.
but he's
It's
got a dinner
definitely a
jacket on.
loafer.
He looks nice. He looked better at the
Hmm
wedding. You know, I
Yeah,
liked his
It's a dinner
fit.
Yeah.
jacket.
I liked his tuxedo and his fit at the wedding better than this fit. But he looks. I still think Steven looks better. But yeah, he looks nice.
yeah, he does.
It's all
All right.
black, black on black
You can't go
crime,
wrong with
because
that.
that's what he's
Black on
committing
black.
right now.
God damn, Sean.
Who sponsored the outfit?
Oh Lord,
Ashley,
y'all get on my
These are the
nerves.
thoughts. This is not the thoughts of me. It's the thoughts of the
This
rest
is
of them.
thoughts of El Cid and El Cid alone.
Just in case Ashley watches this, baby, this is not
Let
me.
me let me let me get the other thing real quick. But yeah, so as I get this pull up this other stuff, Marissa's and Ramses, because that's where we're going next. Their thoughts, y'all thoughts on their final scene with each other. Go ahead, I'll see it.
You sure you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
Okay. I appreciate the fact that he broke up with her at the apartment and not in front of her friends and family. Though I was kind of curious how they were going to do this wedding without an aisle down the middle. That's the only thing I was curious about. But I appreciate him, if he's going to leave, that he didn't do it so publicly. Um, I just, and disclaimer, how I deal with loss is different than anyone else deals with loss, and how I deal with breakups is different. I could understand Marissa, but I was not boohooing like everybody else was saying they were. I understand she was heartbroken, but I'm like, girl, you've known this man for 3 weeks. You've known this man for 3 weeks, and you're still discovering about this man. That, deep cry, I just was a little disconnected from it. But I understand she was hurt and in pain. I don't believe she was begging him. I think she was asking, are you sure? Are you sure? She never said stay, 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 but she certainly didn't accept it right away, which I understand. But him him doing the breaking up and crying almost as much as her, I just wanted to kind of be an Alex and just smush him away. It's like, you breaking up with her, sir. You're making the decision. Don't be all boohooing like if you should be, felt sorry for, like she got to comfort you too. So that's what I think. But I appreciate him not taking her all the way, to the wedding and then embarrassing her publicly, because it would have been, I believe it would have been worse than AD's crying at her wedding.
Mhm. Coach.
Well, I think he cried because it's very sad, isn't it? When you break up with somebody you care about, it is a very sad affair. What I'm saying to you, I've broken up with girlfriends before, and I've cried as well alongside them. You know what I'm saying to you? You know what I mean? My rice one day was very salty after I cried into it. So, but no, I mean, listen, I get it, man. Like, I think he did the right thing by calling it off as early as he did. I think he tried his best. I think he was just afraid. You know what I mean? I think he was just afraid of repeating the same mistakes. I know some you guys sent me some videos of the ex-wife. She was a doctor, or whatever, whatever. The brother had PTSD. He done saw his life flash before his eyes again. He said, "Oh my God, I'm about to make the same mistake I made before. I'm about to choose somebody who has got no time for me." And that PTSD flashed right before his eyes. The brother was shook as heck. So I have some sympathy for him. May not come out the right way all the time, but I have some sympathy for him in that moment. And I think he needs to work on articulation. I think he needs to work on the language that he's able to formulate. I think he needs to work on those things to be able to articulate the ideas that are within his mind, because we're having to kind of fill in the blanks a little bit because he's not as clear and concise with the reasons why he's actually exiting, which again kind of points to that fear response that I think is happening. But he needs to do some work on that. I think the experiment, if he's really honest with himself, exposed him to how much work he has not done, and how much work he needs to do. So before any next relationship, he needs to get himself together, so that this doesn't repeat itself. You know what I'm saying to you? So for me personally, that would be, I think that's what my thought was on that last scene. Poor girl, Marissa. I think the show is a bastard for this, because there was no need to drag out her scene that long. I felt it was the original scene made sense. They were talking, they cried, da 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 da. But when she's alone and she's on the floor and she's crying, I just didn't think they need to film that. I think they could have taken a little break, let her have a little, let her get herself together a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying to you? It just felt almost too much. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, I felt like I was intruding a little bit on that part as well. Do you know what I mean? So, and I didn't think she was begging. I think if you get broken up, I don't know about you guys, but if you get broken up with, I know for sure some people like to act like they're gangster. Like, oh, someone breaks up with me, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, and you can leave. Yeah. But tomorrow you're texting that person, aren't you? Yeah, you're calling them, aren't you? Yeah, you're sending them a long text tomorrow. Some of you. Elsid is obviously clearly a gangster, so we're not going to agree with Elsid because we already know she's an anomaly to these conversations. But the rest of us who are who are not, you're not just going to just let it go and just be like it's done. It's going to be like, are you sure? You are going to ask questions to find out if the person's fully sure, because this is a very real thing. You're about to lose somebody that you really care about and you love. So I get it. You know what I'm saying to you. Yeah.
Sean.
Yeah, well, I think the best thing he did that shows that he has a little bit of character is that he let her go early. You know, everything else, I just feel like he's a very manipulative person. I feel like he presents himself as one thing, but he's really not that. Especially because we've heard some of the after that Marissa did disclose to him about her illness, and he said that he would show up for her. And when the rubber met the road, he did not do that. I also think that he is very selfish, and yeah, I think he's a little bit of a coward. But good for him. Doesn't mean he's the worst person in the whole world. No, is he evil? I don't think so. I don't know him to say that. But based on his actions, I definitely think he's very selfish, inconsiderate, And he should not, I think Marissa was right, he should not have come to this process because he's nowhere near ready to be married. If hearing something about his ex-wife is going to throw him into a tailspin, or at least that's what he told us, and told Marissa. So, yeah.
I agree. I'm with Coach a lot on it. I think the big issue that he has is that he doesn't know to articulate his emotions and his feelings on the inside, on where he stands with a lot of things. So that's why we got that roundabout, because that was my biggest thing right there, is that I do love you, but it's your energy. I give me something. The energy is not telling me what it is. What is driving the energy that you're feeling? Is my energy negative? Is it positive? Is it too hyper? When you say that, I need some more. And that's why you get Marissa in that state of, are you sure? Are you sure? Are you sure? Because she's not getting a concise answer on what it is, why he's made this sudden change. Now, I'm going to get into the video from Jessica Daniels. Again, I have her link down into the description box, so y'all watch her full video. But I think when she starts explaining some stuff, it kind of makes sense. Your first wife end up being a very successful in her career as a doctor, going on and doing her thing. Marissa has a potential of being a successful lawyer and going on. Both of these fields is going to be away from home, especially at some time. At some point in time, you're going to have to put your all into it. You're going to put your focus into it. And he's kind of at home. He's kind of not really doing much. And I think that's probably playing into his psyche and his ego as a man, is that I'm with a breadwinner, but I still want to be the breadwinner, even though I try to pretend like I'm a feminist or I have these right and I feel these type of ways about women being this. I really don't, deep down inside. And you know what? You have to admit, sometimes culturally, we're born into certain things. And though you may feel like you want to have that change, that is still a part of your DNA. And that change has to come about by you taking actual actions and doing things. And it's not that easy. So I think he struggles. He struggles on a lot of things. And like Coach said, he's not as healed as he should have been. And like you both all said, I feel like he did the best thing by calling it off and not taking her all the way to the wedding or going through with it just for the sake of going through with it and trying to figure it out and dragging her through the process, especially if he refuses to continue to talk about your ex-wife. If a person is asking about your past, they're trying to learn about you and how to maneuver. And when you deny them that, it's going to be a wall between y'all all the time, because there's a part of you that you're not allowing them into, and you're trying to say that I'm about to marry this person, but I don't trust you with this information. Is crazy to me. So for him to be in that space where every time she brought up the ex, it's like, why are you asking about that? Why are you doing that? That already told me that you're not ready, because you don't want to face your past or whatever to even go with a future. Sometimes you got to do that. You got to kill off the past. I should probably say that word, but you got to have the past die off some form to start and go forward, or even live in your present. So for me, he was always going to be a problem when he just did refuse to speak on the ex-wife. And the fact that he had to say that he didn't even realize how much he hurt her is wild to me. You know what I'm saying? So he might be a little like El Cid, where he got no empathy, no emotions, and don't shed no tears when he moved the heck on. Because clearly he told that girl 6 months later, nah, I'm still cool. But that's El Cid Jr. over there.
He's not like me. He's not like me, because I would not be entertaining your call 6 months later. I'm sorry. Who? You're blocked. Who? No.
Well, he just didn't learn that lesson. He got a little more heart than ULC. But anyways, let's get into this video. Let me pull up this video and let's get into it, because I found some stuff interesting what she said. And shout out to her for doing all of the heavy lifting for us, okay? Because this young lady did all of it. She did a nice little research. Oh, did I push the wrong button? I'm trying to see y'all, and I'm pushing the wrong button. I'm making sure it's up. Okay, we up. All right, let me go back over here. And we're going to put it on. I'll speed through it a little bit.
Was 7 years old. The thing that really is interesting about Ramses' ex-wife Anna is that, to me, they've both gone through similar life paths and how it started. And I think maybe that's why they stayed together, not just being high school sweethearts, but they were connected on things that maybe other people obviously wouldn't have that same connection about. And that is that Anna's family also immigrated to America, but they immigrated from Peru. And I think it happened in 1996 as well, which is crazy. And they also went to Florida, the Orlando area. And from what I can see, Anna was born in 1991. And I tried to find a little bit of history, but it's so long to do research. But around that time in 1996, in Peru, there was a lot of like terrorism. It was unsafe and just a terrible place to be. Obviously, terrorism is terribly sad. It's just, there's so much to say about that. But and then in Venezuela, there was a massive recession going on. Besides like bad government leaders and the things that we know about history, I'm not going to pretend to know it all because I very clearly don't. Is that there was a big recession, and the spike happened in 1996, where inflation went up like 99% from the previous couple of years. So both their families, individually left those countries to seek a better life for their kids, which is incredible. So I think that's a really important thing to note, because that is like, sorry, like that is the American dream for a lot of people, to leave a country that has war, that has a lot of poverty, and to make it big in another country in America. And
sorry, I don't know, I'm trying to get this to expand the way I want
to be successful. So that's really great. So it's been said on the show that Ramses with his ex-wife Anna they were high school sweethearts, but from what I can see, they have I think it's a 2-year age gap. So I mean, she's 2 years younger than him, so I don't know when they dated exactly. I do know that Ramses says on his LinkedIn that he was a youth pastor from July 2007 to July 2012. There is no way he's a youth pastor. He was a youth leader. In my mind, I only know this because I was also a youth leader coming out of high school, and you need to go to Bible school to actually be a youth pastor. I think this is like,
should we be like saying something about this first lie he done told?
I think it's techie. When I heard it, I was like, I can understand why someone says youth pastor. Do you know what I'm saying to you? It depends on what your definition of pastor is, because if I'm shepherding people, someone might say I am pastoring. I personally wouldn't use the term pastor, but my role was like a pastor when it came to some of the youth that I had to lead. So I didn't think necessarily it was a lie. I just think that someone can see it that way, or it could be an embellishment. You know what I'm saying to you? At worst, it can be an embellishment. Do you know what I mean? But I understand her point of view. She's also saying that you rarely get called a youth pastor. I get that, but I think the word is interchangeable a lot of times, to be honest, if you're leading people.
Thank you. All right, we'll carry on.
Showing proof of someone who's trying to act as if they're something more they were. It's first LinkedIn, so I guess that makes sense, but like I don't see the point, honestly. But I guess because right now his job is in nonprofits, like that looks good, but there's no way he's a youth pastor. He just graduated high school. Yes, he did preaching. I found a picture of him preaching. I didn't find him actually saying anything, but he did preach to the youth. And I also did, when I was did youth leading, but he wasn't a youth pastor. He was a youth leader, and I know this pretty matter of fact, so he did that for a few years. And during that time that he was a youth pastor, I didn't see anything about him working a job until October 2010 when he worked at AT&T. But Anna, she became a CNA in April of 2009. So she's a go-getter, just like Marissa's a go-getter. So I'm like, he typically goes for women who are hard-ass workers and who are just, not like myself, who worked like retail jobs and like management type jobs before I became a mom. I think it's amazing. Career-driven women, I think, are amazing. I think they are.
Oh, by the way, if y'all hear anything that y'all want to say, just jump in and I'll stop it or whatever. If you hear anything you want to speak on, just let me know.
Incredible people for going that path. And then on her LinkedIn, it says that she got a bachelor's in biology and biological sciences from 2009 to 2012. And at this time, this is when Ramses was working in October 2010. So his father, like I said, passed away February 2010. So he didn't have a job until, so in the winter, his dad passed. And then I can see on their Facebooks, I believe they went to Venezuela after that time. Not Anna, but Ramses and his brother and his mom went to Venezuela. Then Ramses got a job. I can see October 2010. So it's interesting. He worked these retail jobs. Like I said, I've also had retail jobs, but his, soon-to-be wife, his girlfriend at the time, was really a go-getter. So I find that really interesting. Like, I feel like when you work a certain profession, I'll get into this a little bit later, but you should be, not that you should be, but it makes it more, I don't know, more of a cohesive relationship to find someone who's kind of on the same playing field as you, because it could end in divorce or some sort of separation or breakup because they don't understand the struggles that come with that sort of profession. And I'm not hating, I think people can have that dynamic and it works because there's communication, there's understanding, but if you don't have those things, then it's not going to work. And then they got, from what I can see, when I found all the pictures, so how I found it was I used this website called fastpeoplesearch.com. I used that when I was doing my true crime videos. I don't do that anymore. And it's really helpful to find information and verify, like, okay, this person lived here, blah, blah, blah. Like a lot of people's information is on there. A lot of people are not as well. I was able to find it on there. And I originally was not going to share anything about Anna because I'm like, I could not find a single freaking picture. I was looking, and they very clearly deleted all their traces on social media. But the way I found it was Ramses has this Instagram post from 2016, so 2 years after he got married. It's with his brother. His brother looks so different now, but he tagged the photographer in it. And then I found it on Facebook. It was so easy. I think that's obviously how people found it because there's no other way to find it. That's how they were able to find it, is he tagged the photographer and I found it on Facebook. So that's why I'm comfortable sharing Anna's name, because the photographer tagged her on Facebook. And on that picture of that they were tagged in it. And then the first picture on there is Ramses and his ex-wife, Anna. And it says, here's a preview of engagement photos I did with Ramses and Anna Prashad. They just got married this past weekend. Thankful to know them just a little bit and call them friends. So I think they had dated for about 7 years when they got engaged. And it seems as if they got engaged and then married really quickly, because if they got engaged, the shoot that they just released, like this photographer was like a preview of it. And he was like, this is their engagement, but they got married. It happened pretty quick. And it probably happened pretty quick because of what their next plan was to do with their like life path. From what I can see based on like looking at the weekends, I think they got married around July 15th. And then right after that, they moved from Orlando area to Virginia for Anna to go to medical school, which is like, that's so crazy. They were like living in Florida and then moved there. So he followed her there and he got a job almost immediately the next month later and worked at J. Crew. He worked as like a customer, like client something. It's just like a fancy word to say retail work. You know, he wasn't in management, but he worked at a customer level with people.
Excuse me. So he up and left and moved with the first wife. Moved himself with the first wife.
As he should, because she got a better job.
He better, yeah.
I'm not saying that's a problem. I'm not saying that's a problem because everything that Marissa's mom and all that stuff is around Marissa. You got to be ready to move when Marissa move. How Marissa's mom put it, when she gonna be a lawyer, you gonna have to put up with whatever's going on and stuff like that. Marissa's gonna think he's getting a part 2, a part 1. He's seeing part 2 of part 1.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What you thinking?
He's seeing deja vu. Okay, he has deja vu. This is happening all over again. I have a career-driven woman, and I'm in retail. But it's not the same woman. You know, it's not the same woman. You're not the same as you were all those years ago. The hairdo ain't even the same. So it could be different.
It could be different, but it can't be when I don't tell the person what they're being compared to. He doesn't give Marissa anything, whatever, and stuff like that. I feel like it'd have been easier if he said, you know what, I've been down this path with a very career-driven woman. And it made me feel some type of way. Or I had to give up all of my things and I don't want to do that anymore. That could have been an easy conversation. You're focused on what you want to do. I don't want to go down that path again. Maybe we should go our separate ways. He could have easily said that in that whole breakup. I think that would have been a lot better than just going in circles of I love you, but your energy is off.
Mm-hmm.
But the first marriage could also be trauma bonding. You know, for both families to be fleeing, you know, political strife of their countries could be trauma bonding.
That's not really trauma bonding though. That's just, we got similar stories. We got similar childhoods.
Yeah, but they're 7 years old, and what I remember of Venezuela,
they're not coming from.
No, but Peru is not that far off from Venezuela. Peru had more militia stuff. I'm telling you, they're coming from some hardships. What we're seeing with South American folks fleeing their country to try and get into America, put a Ramses and his previous wife as the 7-year-old kids in that scenario, fleeing from, you know, dangerous situations in their home country. You cleave that way. This is someone who finally understands what it is to, you know, run away from, you know, your home and what's going on. It was rough in Venezuela. I mean, I don't know all of it with Peru, but the 90s in Venezuela, rough.
It's not. I hear what you're saying, but you're saying for a 7-year-old who is fleeing with their parents to a whole nother thing, we're just picking up and moving. We're not understanding until we get to a certain age of what it is. These people connected in high school. There's not, it just happens that our families went through the similar experience, so that connects us as our families and stuff. But I don't see the trauma that we're actually having as 7-year-olds growing and now are in high school, getting together and hooking up. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just don't see that part, but I hear you. It's a possibility. We'll keep it open. Anywho.
People like helping them get close, you know. And then during that time, Anna was in med school, and she did med school and graduated from there in May of 2018. So based on figuring out all the timelines of the show of Ramses saying when he got divorced and when he got married, I think that they divorced or separated sometime in late 2018, because I found a picture on both their Instagrams of them going to Thailand together. And I think they went to Thailand, just based on the timeline, because you can see here Anna's from her Instagram. It says June 4th, 2018. And then Ramses had a picture June 5th, I think is the next day and in the same place. So like, I thought that Ramses would have been separated a long time ago. But what was interesting to me is the conversation that he had with Marissa on the show when she was like, hey, I can be unhappy in a marriage for 7 years. And he was like, what? And he was so shocked by that.
I would be willing to be like unhappy for probably 5 to 7 years before I go for a divorce. That's a long, I know that's a long.
Because to me, I mean, that's quite a long time to be unhappy, obviously, but she's someone who wants to work at it and get to it. That's what it sounds like, obviously, because she's worked very hard in her life path, career path. But he was like so shocked by that. And I think because they hit a small bump in the road and Ramses just, peaced out. He's just like, I'm not going to do this. Because Ramses to me just seems like a guy who's not going to work on a relationship. He's like, at the first sign of something not for him, he's like, see ya, and we'll get a divorce. And his wife, as we know, like if you've been on social media or know anything of anyone who's worked in the medical field, it's very demanding, long hour shift work, unpredictability to it. And he probably just didn't like that, And in 2000 and when was it? In 2017, March 2017, they got
I found this part
dog,
interesting,
and Anna has
right?
that dog now. So it's interesting.
Because I'm not
But,
sure how long.
what I found interesting
how long would
is
it go for?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to go back. Go ahead.
I thought that she said
Sounds
earlier
like they
that
married
were together.
from her thing 2 years.
Yeah, but then they were together for how long? 7
Married
years?
2 years.
Married 2
7.
years, and about how long?
7 years.
They were together for 7. So when she made a point about it seems like he doesn't work things out, baby, he was in a relationship for 7 years. So, and that could
7
be the
years
trauma bond in
before
itself.
they married.
Exactly. So that point that she made, I didn't see where she got that from, because it doesn't actually correlate, right? If someone's been in a relationship for 7 years, that doesn't mean they don't work things out. Suddenly they're quitting. Do you know what I mean? I think there was something else to it, though. I think that, like Elsa said, there may have been some trauma bonding in the very beginning. That's what kept him in there for a very long time. He then maybe saw, and the thing is, revelation is in stages, right? So he might have had a revelation about that relationship that maybe didn't necessarily work for him, but he's still blindsided by a lot of his own behaviors that correlate towards the breaking of the relationship. His father passed away in 2010. In fact, his father didn't pass away. His father committed suicide. Unalived himself, right? So in that sense, has he dealt with that trauma? Then that's compounding trauma. So you've got coming from Venezuela, fleeing from probably a war-torn area, marrying a girl who also understands that, but are you actually communicating some of those fears that you guys actually have? We don't actually know about her either. Her fears might have driven her to a career, and that a lot of us are career driven because of our traumas. So like, her trauma could have been like, I'm going to focus on my career and be so driven, and actually it may not have allowed for the relationship to foster either. And him also too may have felt like, it seems like he might have this abandonment issue too, because the way he dealt with Marissa and that any kind of distance, maybe that aspect played a role in that marriage as well, and him not actually fully taking into account what behaviors he's contributed towards that, and only saw that maybe from his point of view, which was, she's working hard, she's working all the time, I'm not getting my needs met, and that's the selfishness. That's the selfishness without actually having any revelation of how you contribute towards that relationship. And that's the work that needed to be actually done. And I think he saw probably a glimpse of it with Marissa, like he saw the repeated pattern. But he needs to also do the work on where he's playing a role in the situation as well, that he's contributing towards the instability of the relationship. What can he do to make sure that he himself is safe within himself? Because that's what I saw, an unsafe person within himself. You know what I'm saying to you? Because you knew she was in the military and you still went ahead of it, which means you're actually ignoring red flags. And we talk about women ignoring red flags, actually missing red flags with Tyler, literally walking through a red flag. So people do this when they don't address the actual trauma, and they don't actually really see that they're operating in trauma. So it sounds crazy now at the time, but now I kind of see it from a trauma perspective. I can see how you didn't register the fact that she was military, and that actually links back to some of the trauma that you have not probably dealt with at home until you got out the pods, and then you're realizing, shizzle, this is mad trauma that I'm facing. And he probably won't even call it trauma. He'd probably just call it that, I'm only now realizing, wait, hold on a minute, this issue is a bigger issue for me than I actually thought. And many of us do that. We think to ourselves, oh, I can cope. And it gets to it and you actually can't cope. So I don't know if that's maybe something there too.
Yeah. I was like that, or the opposite. That opposite is that I recognize that she's in the military, but I'm trying to see how far I came in my conquering of certain things or whatnot. And then we have the other side, is the plus side, is that I can get some things out of it. I can get some things out of it in the meantime and stuff. So while I'm getting the things out of it that kind of blankets the fact that I deal with the fact I don't like this, these positive parts that I get, I like. And so when the positive part stops, now we got to face the reality of everything. Now we are seeing clearly, because now I'm not getting the blanket anymore. I'm not being covered by the physicalness or the touching or the affection or whatever, or the all the attention that I once was getting in the pods or in Cancun or Mexico, whatever they were. We're not getting that anymore. I'm being starved. So all my childhood trauma of being starved and didn't have the attention, because there's that trauma for real of we're fleeing a whole nother country, so I cannot put all my attention into you as a child. I'm getting you're getting neglected as a child somewhere because we're trying to survive. The whole family is in a position of trying to survive. So in that, you don't get stable anywhere. We're moving, we're packing up and going. You don't get to hold on to souvenirs and things, your toys and all that stuff. So there's a lot he has to unpack with all this. Sean, Elsie, I haven't heard from Sean in a while. You got any thoughts? Sean, the one that took a whole nap on us, Lord.
No, no, I'm here. I was cooking. But yeah, no, I feel like, and this is probably why I'm very tough on him, is because I just feel like he says things on the surface, but then when the rubber meets the road, it just like he overpromises and underdelivers, because he presents someone who's self-aware. He presents someone who has done work. Even when the mom asked him about his divorce, he presented a very nice sounding story, but not one in which he took any accountability in the scenario for what went wrong and what he learned and what he's going to do differently now in this new relationship. Um, yeah, so I just feel like, could a lot of those things be true that everyone mentioned? Sure. Perhaps he didn't do the work. Perhaps, he needs to self-reflect. And I think all those things lead me to my conclusion, which is that he's selfish. Because if you go into a scenario, and we're not talking about dating, but a scenario where you're going through an expedited process to marry somebody, you should be considering the things from your past that are going to impact that marriage and that union that you're going to enter into. And I don't think he did. He came off very selfishly, to me. Now, again, the best thing he did was to realize that they're not going to work and set her free before saying yes, because then it's a long road to get out of that situation. So I am appreciative that he did whatever led him to the decision, decided to end things with her. But it just seems like he's very deceptive in giving this image of, I've got this covered, and yes, I'm healed, and I'm a new age man in the sense of understanding masculinity and not being assigned to gender roles, but showing up very differently.
I don't know or don't understand, but I could kind of see how being in your first year of college, having your parent remove themselves from this world as being something that will be very impactful, especially your dad for guys or anybody. But if I'm going to generalize the South American culture of dads and their sons and the connections, it would totally be understandable that that would hit hard, as would with anybody. But I could, I'm given the grace of maybe they were extremely close, because you drop out of college, it feels like that could, there's so many heavy things that could kind of stagnate your life. And it seems like that was one of the points where his life kind of became stagnant. He should have gone and gotten, help. He should go and do the heavy lifting, especially if you see your wife is on to medical school and you're still in J. Crew retail. Or was your life that you wanted to be that youth pastor, you were going to rise up in the church, but it was Orlando and now you're in Virginia. You're not adapting well. That could be part of your trauma of fleeing. So he has a lot to possibly unpack because of what, his life experiences may have contributed to this. But again, you should do this before you get on Love is Blind or dating anyone at all, especially as a divorcee. You have to be digging into so much so you're prepared if you wish to marry again.
Just real quick, Jay, I know I just wanted to address like the Venezuela commentary and the military. You know, it's a geopolitical thing, just like people are upset with the United States about their involvement with, you know, with what's happening right now in Palestine and Gaza. So it's not the same, but it's a similar dynamic where people are upset, or people from Venezuela can be upset or are upset about the US's involvement in the destabilizing of that particular area, and how the United States in general gets involved in other foreign countries, governments, for different reasons. So that's why he's against the army. You know, he understands that the United States is a place of opportunity and some place for him to flee, but he also kind of blames the United States for him having to flee for some of the things that they were involved in the politics over there in Venezuela.
And who's to know? Some of that fleeing might be might be the result of his dad's unaliving. So you know, that could stem from it. So that could be part of it too. But yeah, like you say, El said, he definitely needs to go to the counselor, and there's grief therapy and everything for that. So that it helps him be able to explain and express that part too. If that is the case, that's what's holding him back from, you know, expressing how he really feels about the military, you know, because I know for us it's an easy, simple thing because we didn't experience that type of trauma or that type of loss. But you know, that is in a way something once you get to a space to easily express to say, hey, I don't agree with these policies because these policies resulted in this happening. And that happened and affected my life in such a way, you know. And that would be easier for Marissa to understand, like, oh, okay, let me take that into account, whatever. I mean, we know communication is a big deal in all types of and forms of relationships, and being able to express our feelings even when it's very emotional, painful, or heightened is a big deal. But we have to be in a space to be able to do that with people, because we can't expect people just to read our brains and know what to do for us. We have to be able to tell them, hey, this is what I'm dealing with. I am sensitive to these types of things. And that also helps you know when people really care about you, because when they know your triggers, when they know your sensitivities, they intentionally try not to step on those things when they care about you, you know. So it actually helps you with your discernment going forward too. Um, I know there's more to that video and stuff. I want y'all to watch the video. I know she does a lot of bit more doxing of the wife, and I don't really want to do too much because that's how I end up finding her. But y'all can go ahead and find her. She don't outright say her whole thing, but it does come up. She don't blank out a lot of stuff. But I do want to get into this article that Marissa did write real quick on Ramses. I don't know if y'all seen that. What she was sharing about what her mom thought on him as well. She says, let me pull it up real quick. Y'all can see it, right? Because I'm on the other page. I want to make sure. Let me make sure y'all can see it, because y'all know me. Okay, let me start. I'm gonna start scrolling down as I go. Okay. Let me go back to it real quick. All right. So this is from MSN. The link is in the bio, in the description. It says Washington, D.C. lawyers also open up. Oh, wait, make sure. Oh, okay. The Washington, D.C. based lawyer also opened up about the negative comments her mom has received from fans and asked people to be more kind. Let me go down. We don't worry about these spoilers because we already know. Yes, yes, Marissa's mom agrees. Ramses was far from the one. The Love Is Blind season 7 star 32 shares that what her mom thought of her ex-fiance off camera since their emotional breakup. The season 7 finale hits Netflix show. She says she felt that he was very different from who I've dated before, and she felt ultimately he would never be able to keep up with my lifestyle because he didn't have a college degree. She told Glamour in a new interview, adding how her mom put a lot of emphasis on her pursuing her higher education. She said that she felt like he had a superiority complex. Marissa explains. She tried to give him a chance. Cece had been nice since she had been nice to him off camera, but once they had the conversation surrounding his ex-wife, they don't show it, but she literally cuts him off and says, I'm done listening to what you have to say. Wow. Oh wow. Moms don't have no great. Hey, El said, I think this is your sister though. Just playing.
No, I know how to behave when I meet people. I'm gonna just watch Ramses and watch, watch what he's saying. I let him see when he was like, "Oh, so you like me?" Huh? I would be the sitting down there laughing, da da da. You know, I wouldn't do that right away, but it'll get there. It'll be next topic. Next topic.
Right. Next topic. Carry on. And the article continues to say Washington, D.C. based lawyer recalls how Ramses talked about his divorce in a way that made her mom recoil and think, don't explain marriage or divorce to me. That's where we got that line. That came across harsh. She acknowledged of their first meeting. She was just trying to say he was talking down to her. And she was saying, I'm done with this conversation. You're making yourself sound like you're a saint. Oh, interesting. Marissa says her mother saw through. Oh, go ahead, Coach.
I
Who
was
was
just
about
gonna
to say?
say, it sounds like she was projecting a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you, okay, all right. Because if he was talking down to her, I would have felt like the camera would have caught it. You know what I'm saying to you? It would have been a great moment to catch Ramsey out. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Him being a little bit bitchy or a little bit like, I'm talking down to her in that moment. And I think this is where like when people are saying in the chat like, oh, her mum clocked him. No, her mum clocks everybody. The exact same. Her mum doesn't trust anybody. If her mum really clocked Ramsey, when you read the rest of the article, should have never come back and been like, Ramsey, why are you leaving my daughter? Stay with my daughter. If she really clocked him, she would have been like, yeah, good riddance, be gone. But she didn't do that. So she hasn't clocked anything. Her mum is tigerish with every single person and will run people out of the building. She just doesn't trust people, and she's got a bad attitude, and is very crass, very crude, and very rude. And so yeah, I just think to myself that the mum didn't clock anything. Okay, there's parents like that, mum or dads, who are just very overbearing of their children, and she's one of them.
Hmm. Yeah, I don't think she really clocked much other than the fact that he wasn't being 100 about the marriage. Because, of course, if it's a divorce, it takes both of y'all. And if he's just being, oh, we agreed and that stuff, it's like, no, give me the more. That's what she really wanted. But talking down, yeah, I don't think so. Any other thoughts before I finish reading? Everybody good? All right, says Marissa said her mother saw through that and also saw that I would have to carry him in the relationship emotionally and be the one to take care of him. Well, that part is probably true. At the end of the day, Marissa admitted that she agreed that Ramsey seems to talk down on her throughout their time on the series. As I watch it, I'm like, God, Marissa, he's not listening to anything you're saying. She continued. He's like, no one put a gun to your head when you joined the military. And I was like, did you not hear anything I just said? Well, you know what? Maybe he was talking down to her. We can't dismiss her experience, but I don't think he was talking down to the mom. But maybe there's parts of it we didn't see on camera. Marissa claimed there was an air of moral superiority that Ramsey seemed to hold over her over their conversations, especially when it came to controversial topics like the military, sex, and politics. It's like, okay, I don't have a degree. I don't have this. I don't have that, but I'm more progressive than you. And I care more about the world than you. So therefore, I'm going to say it in a small ways to make you feel that way, she explains, adding that she only noticed Ramsey's behavior while watching the show back. She confessed that she didn't believe he's a feminist as he thinks he is, and at times Ramses can be a lot more selfish and then realizes she is still she despite this she still thinks her ex is a good person. Okay, girl. Sorry. I be just having to put the picture in frame while I read it. I just don't think he realized how he comes across, she says. He's like, I hear what you're saying, but I don't really care because no matter how feminist a man is going to be, he's still going to have a blind spot because he's a man at the end of the day. As for her mother, Marissa confessed that she needed therapy, but thought that the fans' reactions to her comments on the show, at one point, her mother threatens Ramses that she would cut his his yeah, off if he hurts
Jewel.
Marissa. Or yeah, his family jewels off if he hurts Marissa's were unfair and ask people for grace. That's when we get into the part where she talks. I think my mom and I have a very interesting relationship because when she was 17 or 18, she had me. She explained, I know from therapy that a lot of people please I have a lot of people pleasing tendencies come from my mom trying to mold me not to fall on the same path as her. Marissa continued, I think people just need to be a little bit more kind. Being a parent is hard and she's not perfect and she has a lot to work to do on herself, but that doesn't mean she's freaking mates her children because she called me a B on TV. It is crazy. People are like, oh my God, I would never call someone out of their name. We all have. Come on. No, we haven't, Marissa. Not all of
Not
our
your daughter.
parents
Not
have
your own
done that
daughter.
or called their children
Not
that.
my
But okay.
child.
That's
Not
what I'm
your
saying.
daughter
Not
or
my
son.
child. Whatever. Now, some stranger off the street, that might be different.
That's right.
But all right, girl. Marissa's and Ramses had one of more emotional journeys on the show, characterized by many deep conversations, and typically were showcased on Love and Blind, on Love Is Blind before. After getting engaged in the pods and enjoying their getaway in Mexico, things got real when they returned to the real world with their differing beliefs and perspectives rather clear to family and friends. Their relationship hit a breaking point at the end of episode 11 when Ramses and Marissa had a conversation about their future and Ramses' concerns about getting married again. Ultimately, his fear that he would hurt Marissa became his main worry, and he decided that they were better off going separate ways. How could I so sure about you? Feel so sure and you not, Marissa asked. I want someone to be sure about me. But despite applying for a marriage license together and being just days away from their wedding, Ramses called it off, leaving Marissa heartbroken and sobbing on the floor. This is the worst day of my life, Marissa cried in a heartbreaking wrench scene that it concluded in the beginning of episode 12 before taking off the ring and leaving it on the carpet. Uh, Love is Blind. Okay, so that's basically it with that article. I know she spoke on Vulture, how she actually went back. She went back to him 6 months later, and he denied her again.
Because it wasn't about the sex. Because it wasn't about the sex. Because I don't know about y'all, but the exes come back, I'm a hit. So if it was really about the sex, just let you know that if you gonna come back, I might hit and quit it. So, you know what I mean? Again, I think it just shows this wasn't just about the sex. It's more than that. There was something that he's not fully explaining about the situation that he's afraid of. And he still has not found the language to explain it to her. And my biggest issue with Ramses is what the mum picked out, which is there is a perfectionist kind of aspect, an air of superiority. Because I think in one of the articles that she did say, it might be the Vulture one, she spoke to him about getting therapy, and he said no. And I said, no, Negro, you need to go. You ain't got a choice. You need to go. You are actually a problem. So you need to go. Like, you have abandonment issues, you have abandonment wounds. It's going to cause you to sabotage a lot of your relationships. You need to go. I don't care if you need to get a therapist, a coach, okay, an agony aunt. Get somebody who's going to start calling out some of the bullcrap that you're actually carrying with you into relationships. Because if Marissa gets herself, she's gone into therapy, if she gets herself together, she's gonna work out those kinks. So she's going to be okay. But my brother, if you don't get into those things, you're gonna keep going from relationship to relationship, or even if you get stuck in a relationship, you might get stuck in one, but you'll be miserable again. So he needs to do that work. ASAP Rocky. There is no excuse for it saying, I don't need it. No, you need it. You were just on a show, you couldn't explain yourself, and you gave the excuse of energy. You need to go. And you need to get that therapy ASAP Rocky with no other excuses. Pay for it. I don't care how you do it, but get it done. Because you can't behave the way you just behaved on the screen and call that normal and be like, yeah, I just didn't think it was for me. No, that's not what happened, bro. Let's be honest, bro. I think that's my biggest issue with him, is that he lacks self-awareness. And where the mum was right is that probably lacks also emotional maturity in the sense of the intelligence aspect, because he's not even realizing what he's feeling. So But yeah, that's what I would say. Don't know if Sean or Elsie want to add to that.
I was giving Sean the opportunity to go first, but okay. Um, it's very telling. I'm with you, Kojo, but I'm not the one. I'm probably, as you said, I'm not the right one for this spinning the block on an X talk. I just don't do it. It just that to me is the begging side. If someone shows you who they are and they've left you, leave them alone. Just leave them alone. There's no guarantee that they're going to be better than they were the last time. And if he was not comfortable with you as you were 6 months ago, it's not enough time for him to do a 180. So the fact that she asked him, "Are you sure?" 6 months later, and he again has to be the one to say, "No, this ain't it." Yeah, it told me that I'm not willing to put him and cast him as the complete villain that
Mm.
everybody paints him as. Or else she just comfortable with villainous behavior. I mean, that's the only other thing.
They
But is
spoke
he
for
a
89 hours.
yeah? But is he a really a complete villain? Because I feel like this is actually just indicative of the relationships that go on in real life. You know what I'm saying? He didn't ghost her, so we give him that. He didn't ghost her. He didn't take her all the way to the aisle, the down the aisle and stuff like that. The timing was bad, but we're in a sped up process, so I don't know when the timing was going to be good on it or whatnot. Um, Sometimes it takes you being with a person to really know I really want to be with this person. Sometimes we hear about situations where you get engaged and we probably shouldn't be living together before we get married, but sometimes in some cases it works out for the better because you find out you can't live with that person when you get with them. Y'all just like two different peoples when y'all live in the same house together. So I don't know. I don't really think he's a bad guy. I just feel like he could have did better at expressing himself on the fact that it is he's dealing with something while he has to call it off with her. It's something that he didn't fix, and he didn't. And the other part of it is he didn't come on this show with it fixed already. But sometimes you don't know you have a problem until you get into a situation and you realize, you know what, I actually have a problem.
But what is the problem? I would say Marissa's problem is too deep too soon. So 6 months later, we talking back again. We comfortable enough. You think we ready to go back to dating towards marriage?
Oh,
Six
that's
months ain't
Marissa's
enough.
problem. Yes, that's Marissa's. I was just speaking on him
Right,
being
but
feeling.
right. I'm saying even so with him treating her terribly and causing her to cry so deeply. I would not have expected someone who cried that hard for a breakup to go back. I would not have expected that. I would have expected that deep hurt. You never want to give the person the opportunity to hurt you like that again. So to go back and say, hey, why don't we give this a shot? I'm just hoping she was saying that so we look good 6 months later at the reunion and not really to heart. Because crying like that, no, 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 no. Let that man go on with his life. Y'all can talk. Y'all have a shared experience. No one else can say they were your fiance during Love is Blind. Y'all can have a great communication. That does not mean the communication has to lead back to romance at all, especially not with the way he treated you. And we have people out here windmilling for you, Marissa. That was a complete disappointment for me. For all the people that are windmilling out here and got her back against Ramses, and now to hear you going back, you trying to get back, girl. I was like, I'm glad I was not counted in that number because I don't look good with egg salmonella on my face.
Yeah. My position on him really hasn't changed. I still do think he definitely has villain qualities. Um, and the mention of self righteous is all the stuff that we just haven't put the exact word on, but that we've been saying, especially his stance on the military still being in the United States, the way he judged her, the commentary around condoms, his lack of empathy, when she was, on her cycle slash not wanting to be touched, in particular ways and times. All of those things, you know, have just it's just given us a little bit more clarity. And I don't think that just because he didn't take her back after 6 months means that it wasn't about sex for him. I feel like at the end of the day, he was done with her. He got what he needed. He realized he couldn't get any more of whatever it was that he was looking for, so he was done. It's kind of like he discarded her. Now on to her. I definitely think she's still got a lot of work to do. I'm glad she's in therapy, and hopefully she could continue to work on her self-worth, not wanting to be just getting over that feeling of nobody wants me, people don't like me for who I am, having self-confidence to know that how you show up is how you show up, and the right person is going to love you. You don't have to dumb down or do anything less to make people want to be around you. That person isn't just for you. So I was sad to hear that even after being without him for 6 months, she still wanted to go back in. I respect her for being vulnerable and honest about it, but it's just evidence that there's still more work to be done, for her. And lastly, on Ramses, just his ego is through the roof because this guy wants to sit and talk about all the things that he is, but he won't sit and do the actual work on himself and go to therapy and try to really learn from some of those things that happened to him and how he can make better decisions and realize the way that he impacts people in the world. So that's one of the main reasons why my villain stance for him still is in place.
I hear that. I hear that. I mean, I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? Um, you know, like I said, I think both of them got things to work on. To be honest, you know what I mean? And I really hope that Ramses does the work to really begin to heal and begin to see and to see a different perspective. Because, like I said, we want to see you in healthy relationships. You know what I mean? I don't want to see him repeat the same mistakes. Obviously, I actually do understand why Marissa came back. I understand why she circled the block. Right? That relationship didn't actually end in a way that was destructive. So the difficulty about that is that it didn't end on an actual really bad note. Now, we're looking at it from a perspective of, and Elle said, you are an anomaly. So remember that you are an anomaly. You are completely X in the far corner of the
But does
of
it
the chart.
have to be destructive? Does it have to be destructive
It's not about that it has to be.
It's
It's
easier when
about
it
the
is.
psychology. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Because there's a thought process that, you know what, if we didn't end badly, then maybe there's an opportunity to go back. 6 months, maybe she's thinking to herself, I've been doing some work. I'm feeling stronger. I'm feeling better. If you've ever done a ligament injury, right? This happens a lot. You get a ligament injury. The first 3 months after you come back, after you're healing from that ligament injury, you think you're good, and you try to go and play a little bit of a sport, and it jars, and you're like, I'm not good. I'm not good. Go and sit back down, because you realize it's your knees all swollen, your legs swollen,
Or
whatever.
you
You
hurt
realize you're
or
not
you hurt
ready.
another part of you hurt another part of
And
your
I'm
body.
like, buddy, let me go and sit my ass down. I haven't healed yet. So sometimes you think you're there, but you haven't got there. And I think for Marissa, she might have thought to herself, she's there, and maybe I mean, but I can hear that there's some change, but I don't think she's fully there yet. But in this essence, I think he had just committed that he's not going back. Like for him, he made up his mind he's not going back. No matter what happens, he ain't going back. And because he has not properly articulated the reason why, there is actually nothing for her to kind of fix that will get her back in there. So it's almost like, and the thing about, and again, that's why I was talking about attachment styles for them, is like she's trying to prove her worth. And so it's like, I'll fix everything. I'll try and fix something. I don't know what it is. I'll find a hole and plug it in and whatever. So she's gone back and unfortunately had a conversation for 8 to 9 hours. She's thought to herself, maybe this can work again. Maybe we can try it again. And she tried it again. And he said, no. You know what I mean? And, listen, I get it. I really do. I don't look at it in a bad way. A lot of us have been in that space. And it's not because you're a sucker. It's because you genuinely were thinking that maybe there can be a change. Maybe that person has changed. Maybe we can get back together again. You know what I mean? Like I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. I understand. You know.
Listen, I get it. I understand. But I'm going to tell you now, I don't think he the villain because he shut her down in the 6 months. And now me, 6 months later coming back, I'm definitely the villain because I'm coming back for the sex only because that means in the last 6 months, I ain't found nothing else to replace you. And I'm going back to the last thing I had. I'm not going to even hold you. Now, I don't know if that's the case why she went back. But I would have definitely been the villain because that's why I'm going back. I ain't found no other D right now. You the last thing I had. What's good? We done had a 9 hour conversation. I'm feeling a little kind of way. Can I get one last run for closure? I'm
And
down.
I mean, I
my
think
count don't go
Trust me.
up.
there's all types of villains though. Robin Hood was a villain too, right? But he did good things and also did bad things at the same time. So for me, when I look at somebody that's villainous, it's almost like what's the impact that this person has and how do they move through life? You know, so there's all different degrees. Everybody don't have to be the Joker. Everybody don't have to go all the way to the ninth degree to be a villain.
Also, we're agreeing that Batman is a villain.
He might be villain light. Yeah, he might be.
Okay, then Ramses is villain like. Want to go ahead?
You gonna throw Rami, you gonna throw Marissa into there. She's a villain in her own story. Because if you gonna keep
Yep.
going back, you're on your own villain. So
Oh,
that's
Yeah.
what
we
I'm
all
saying to you.
now, Kojo. Now let's not equate everybody. Of course,
Why not?
we all do that. Then all of us are villains if that's the case, because
Yeah,
all of us
you're a
do
villain.
things
My
when we
boo.
don't learn that hurt ourselves. That's the accountability because we're the one we get faced with our decisions that we make that are harmful. What I'm saying is when you go after people and you present yourself one way and then you do things that are the opposite of that under the guise of getting what you want from somebody, that is a villain. That's a villainous characteristic.
And I think that's why we always disagree because you keep going with an angle which I don't agree with. I feel like you're putting it like he has targeted her to want to get her, and I'm not looking at her as him targeting her to get her. I'm looking at it as he's seen someone he wants to be with, but he realizes he hasn't got the tools nor the resources to actually do this actual job. You know what I'm saying to you? As he's got in there, he realized the job is bigger than him, and so that's why I'm saying to you that then they're both villainous. I don't see the as someone put there, malicious intent. I don't necessarily see the malicious intent in this instance. You know what I'm saying to you? Rather, I just see two people, almost like oh man, I'm not using them as an example. I was going to use the Joker and thingy, but that ain't even a good example. But I was going to use Joker and Harley Quinn, but that really is a villain situation.
Right.
But
You definitely pushed
that was a bit too far. So let me keep my mouth shut. But you know what I mean? Like it's just I see both of them. You know, this is one of those situations. But I'm not taking away from what Sean has said. If he has that angle, I can understand why he makes him the villain, why he makes him villain or villain light. I guess I see it from the perspective of I don't see the malicious intent, but I hear what you're
Yeah, I don't
saying.
see the malicious
The
intent.
malicious intent part is him saying I'm a feminist. Him saying like, "Oh, I've evolved. I've done the work." Him saying, "Oh, I exited my first marriage because I gave, it was like a pious type concept, like I did her a favor, by it ending," versus him owning his behaviors, him not really being a feminist and just saying it out loud, him being self-righteous. All of those things are intentional acts and designed to pull people in. Even if we go back to what you said earlier when we were judging his outfit, you said he would fall in the dandy characteristics. There's a form of manipulation because you're using your looks, you're using your aesthetics to draw someone in, to get someone to seduce someone, to get
Okay,
them to do what you want them to do.
that's a
And
far
I
A
reach
bridge
there.
too far. A
Then
bridge
we
too
all,
far.
then we all that, baby. What we out here
we
doing?
we, we could we then definitely
Baby,
anybody.
did
Well,
you just?
Jay,
I don't want
you
to bring
talk
up what
about
you
dark
went and bought
arts
in
all the
Atlanta, but
time,
did you
and
didn't you buy some
that's
stuff to look
villainous.
good? Did you not buy some stuff to look good? Were you being a villain in
You
Atlanta?
miss you miss that's not what we were talking
But
about
he did. He
earlier,
did.
Jay.
If,
That's not what
if
we were
we're
talking
gonna if
about
we're gonna
earlier.
put it this way, I will push back and say yes, he did do his ex-wife a favor by leaving, because again, was withholding and holding her back from her success. If he's gonna be working at J. Crew while she's becoming a doctor, yes, bro, leave so she can be successful without you. But it's just the clawing of I guess giving him this was his intention to, go after. He came there looking for a Marissa, looking for a I would more have that venom for Tyler rather than for, Ramses. But again, it's the I don't think he was malicious in it. Was it in bad form? Was it hectic? And people are different degrees of things. Yes,
That's
you may not think he's a feminist, but in certain things, he maybe have a feminist thought or feminist way. He's not a 100% feminist. I don't think anybody is. But he may be, okay, in this regard, I don't mind being a stay-at-home husband while my wife works and does her career. He may see himself as a feminist because of that, because it's non-traditional. So I don't know the layer. I would need his definition of feminist, but I think you're going after him thinking he's deeper than he actually says he was.
and that's where I was gonna go. El said, people say there are a lot of things until they get in the spot where they have to be those things. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that those people are trying to manipulate or anybody and stuff like that. They might be speaking on what they aspire to be, or what they want to be, or what they seen they be, or what they've been in the group that they've been in until they get into a group that actually makes them do that type of stuff. He may be around smaller groups of feminist people that where he's kind of a big dog in it or whatever, because those people are still learning the craft themselves. But he might get by somebody that's been in it for a lot longer and understands it a lot better. He's not going to still have the same views. And like Marissa said, at the end of the day, you're still a man. It's kind of hard to be on a feminist spectrum as a true feminist as a man. You can just see and understand some of our morals and these things that we have in this group. And I'm saying we as loosely, but I'm not a feminist. Okay. You can see some of it and you're supporting us or whatever. It makes you feminine adjacent. It's the same thing like, the people that support Black movements and all these things like that, but they're not really about of the Black culture. Doesn't make them a villain or make them manipulative because they want to support us if they're really true at heart with it or whatever and stuff like that. They're just not a part of the culture all the way. So I don't really see him as being a villain. You have to prove to me that he intentionally went on here to manipulate somebody, and I just don't say it. I just see him saying more than what he is capable of doing, and then when it's put to the test, he just falls short all the time on it.
Yeah, just in that same example that you used, Jay, when you're talking about those people that interlope, they're not part of the culture, but then they pretend to be it, and then they call themselves allies, and then they do things that are against that. We call them out and we call them villains for that. We call them posers. Look at Rachel Dolezal. She inserted herself, pretended to be Black, worked for the NAACP, but when everything came to be and she really wasn't, she got called out because that's villainous behavior.
But when she
Because
was in there,
let me
she was
finish.
actually doing stuff.
Just let me finish. So at the end of the day, I see him as a poser because there's a lot of people today that champion a cause or put their name to a cause, but when the rubber meets the road, not only do they miss the mark, but they do the exact opposite of it.
Then we all it then.
I mean, I see what you're saying. I mean, I guess obviously Rachel Dozel, she intended to actually, she actually had intent to deceive, because there was actually an end goal, which was to get some certain benefits. It was to do with, if I remember correctly, it was to do with affirmative action actually, and then how she was getting benefits in terms of, I can't remember what was a scholarship or whatever, right? So she intended to actually deceive. She knew exactly what she was. She wasn't trying to be part of the cause. This wasn't a thing where she lacks knowledge and she says something stupid and now we're calling her out to be a poser. You know what I'm saying? It's a bit like being in church, right? And there's a lot of people who go to church who are not actually Christians. They wear the label, they talk Christianese, but they're not actually saved or born again. And and so I feel like what with Ramses, I think what Ramses has done is that he's tried to remodel himself in a way, right? Not necessarily to deceive anybody. He's got some ideas which are not fully fleshed. He hasn't done the full work. He's got a little bit, and actually a lot of people do this. He's got a little bit of knowledge, enough for him to blow his whole head up to call himself a feminist. Yeah, and there's a lot of people like that, right? Like there's a lot of people like that. That when they get a little bit of knowledge, they suddenly become an expert on the subject. You ain't an expert. You get what I'm saying to you? You're not an expert, but you got a little bit of knowledge that bloats your head up. And so sometimes what ends up happening is you will ride that label until then. And again, if your intentions are pure, when they call you out, you'll be able to say, okay, you know what, look, I'm reassessing how I'm looking at it. Right now, if they call him out if they call him out on the show, on the reunion, and he goes like, and he completely denies everything that happened and says, listen, I don't see anything I've done wrong, then you know what, I'm gonna go with you, Sean. Do you know what I'm saying to you? But you know what I mean. But I think what we're seeing from him personally, I think what we're seeing from him is somebody who's got a little bit of knowledge, but has not done the full work to like what you're doing, Sean. Right? You are learning to undo a lot of your processes and your ways, and you're doing the work, and it's coming through in the way you're talking. But you're actually only a newbie in this situation, you know. So but you have the humility to be able to say, listen, I don't know everything. So if someone checks you, you're gonna be like, oh, cool, I'm gonna check it, cool, move forward with it. You know what I'm saying? You have the awareness to be able to do that. So what I'm saying about him is that I don't think he has, one, the awareness, because we've seen it already. Number two, I think he's got a little bit of knowledge, but he has not done the work. And that is, if anything that's villainous, that is the villainous part I think about him, is that his ignorance, right? His ignorance is his biggest downfall, because it doesn't allow him to do the work that needs to actually be done. But again, I'm not actually 100% disagreeing with you, Sean, and saying about completely disagree that he's not a villain. I'm just saying that my position is that I don't see the malicious intent per se, but I wouldn't say completely that I think you're wrong. I think I can see where you're coming from. You know what I'm saying to you? I can see where you're coming from.
And I think the thing that gets me is that not only is he not there, but he talks like he is. And that's arrogance. And arrogance, no matter what his intent is harmful. And and ego is also people use their egos to manipulate so that they're always on top, so that they always feel at the peak of intelligence. And even Marissa was able to articulate how he came off, his self-righteousness, because it's not like, oh, I'm a feminist, but no, he's going to say he's a feminist. He also promised her, because one of the things that he explained in the pods was when she did disclose her autoimmune, issue and some of the things, he told her he would show up for her. And he didn't do that at all. So for me, all of those things together are where I formulate the picture around him being manipulative. And that's where I arrive at the point where I get to. And then you're going to sit around and judge her and talk about her being in the military. And then having that conversation about the condoms. That is hella wild, very manipulative, and dangerous. So it's not just like one little thing that I'm connecting the dots to say he's villainous. That conversation by itself is incredibly harmful. And for somebody to say that they're a feminist, that would at the least say that they would have a monicum of empathy where they really consider women totally. And in that moment alone, just that single moment was the antithesis of a feminist.
For me, and going as along with what Kojo was saying before, I kind of can relate it to, the church, the people who are returning to the church and the people who have been with the church forever. It doesn't leave too much space for the person growing in their own journey and faith. It doesn't leave much space even for the conversation. I understand the ego. There's a lot of people with ego and don't want to learn or think they're at a certain point. But I guess for me is, if you think you at the height and I know you're not, I just leave you in your delusional corner. I'm not going to, rise to the occasion and talk about you, and go through your faults. It's like, you're in Delulu land, you're not quite there, and I'm going to leave you over there. I just think, like most people, I don't think he went on the show to clout chase. I don't think he went on the show to intentionally find someone to be able to, get at them. And the other part of that, yes, in the pods, anyone can say, or even in real life, anyone can say they will be there with you when you get sick, until you get sick and y'all are in the trenches together. There's some people who can handle it, and there's some people who cannot. So my thing is that, yes, he probably thought with maybe good intention that, yeah, I will be there for you. This is what you say you need from me. I can do that. But then when we get into the trenches, this is way too much for me. Way too much. And I'm glad they were able to experience this before marriage so you can know this ain't it. This is not what you can handle. And I appreciate that kind of honesty that this is not what you can handle, because what I don't need while I'm trying to recover is wonder about you.
Yeah, I think that's a good point as well. I think I do, and again, I definitely see your points as well, Sean. So I'm not disputing that. I think it is, like I said, the autoimmune situation too is very difficult. But I think it goes. Remember, I was saying this on our other live the other time as well, saying that that might have played also in a role in his decision making too, right? That at first you say you can do certain things, you think you can, but it's very difficult. Now, obviously, Sean, you know you've gone through your own battles this last year as well. A lot of people say they're going to be there for you, and you'll realize when you're going through stuff, people are not there for you. You know what I'm saying to you? I had a friend that had gone through cancer years ago when I was about 18, 19. You know what I'm saying to you? And I stuck it out with the person. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, I can't do that for every single person. I remember how drained I was after. You know what I'm saying to you? I remember how drained I was after. I remember there was times where I felt resentment at points. You know what I'm saying to you? And I've discussed it with the person anyway. That it's tough to be in that space because certain conversation kept on coming up. And you're like, bro, I need a bit of a break. You know what I'm saying to you? So it's not easy. You think you can do something until you're faced with the reality of that thing being in your face. Which is why I'm really glad that they did it. They quit before the marriage, because if he made marriage, then he's actually bound to actually stuck this out. Like he's actually bound because you made vows. So you know that he would have to stick it out because he's made those vows. And so I think it's very tough in that aspect. And I know, and I, again, and I can see, I can still, hold space that yes, he can be selfish at points because his ignorance is making him selfish, in certain things. So I just say that, like, I think there's a lot of things that were happening that I think he thought he could handle. I think he really overestimated his own ability, which is the arrogance that you're talking about, Sean. The overestimation of his actual ability and skill and capabilities that he actually has, which is why I'm saying there's a lot of ignorance that he needs to go and learn and get himself into therapy, because that usually is a mask for incompetence, right? You're masking that incompetence with that arrogance, and oftentimes we're doing that because we're afraid of what people might judge us and see us as, that we're not actually worthy, or we're not actually a good person, or we're not good enough. And that's why I said to you that the problem wasn't with Marissa. When he said it was about him, it really is about him. He's not saying that he doesn't realize how deep it is that it's about him. It's actually really about him. It's really about him, that he hasn't realized that he has got a lot of work to do. So I can see what you mean by villain. I'm not gonna take that away from you, Sean. I would say that I hold the other side, but I wouldn't. This is not a complete no. It's definitely not a villain. It's more of a case of I can see where you're coming from. I just hold the other position. So yeah.
I won't say that he is a villain, but he may have villain capabilities, and it might be his origin story. I have no clue, but I definitely hear you,
Anti-hero.
Sean. And yeah, he's an answer here. And I definitely hear you, Sean. And I'm glad that you are now on our side. Okay, you're on the good team. Stay over here, brother. We love you.
That Negro is not on our side. That brother has given us the light version today. He done took
Oh
you two
yeah,
three
no, I'm
days.
definitely not on your side. So
No, no,
no,
I'm
but I
not saying
but
no. I'm not saying on our side as far as this
oh,
goes.
okay.
I'm talking about as far as being, changing and trying to, you know,
Oh,
be a
leaning
better
into
you.
empathy and understanding women,
Yeah, being
because
being a better you and stuff. Yes.
yeah, yeah. There's no way. And I don't even label myself anything, because then that's when you start to have false expectations or claim that you have arrived, and this for me is not about that, to lure anybody in. It's about me learning and realizing, the power structures that exist. But yeah, no, I think again, his one redeeming quality was that he did the 100% right thing in letting her go. And that's why my foot is not completely on his neck, because he did do the right thing by her, and did let her go, and then even continue to do so, which I think speaks for some redeeming qualities for him, that even after she attempted to, get back together with him, he still remained steadfast, to not go back to her. So yeah, those are the redeeming qualities I see in him. Full stop.
All
Thank you,
right.
Sean.
Not to thank you, Sean. I'm gonna let everybody get their last closing thoughts. I don't know if that was yours, Sean, or if you got some more, because I do have to get out of here. But guess what? The battle will continue tomorrow on Little Black Books channel. I don't know what time he has designed it for yet, but y'all get y'all battle gear ready. We'll be back tomorrow over there. Go follow Little Black Book 91 if you haven't already. You'll find us all over there having wonderful discussions. It's a great place. If you're new to my channel, it's a great place to have family council meetings as we do, because we come as a loving, respectable group, and we dissect and break down things, and we respect everybody's different opinions. We're entitled to it. It actually helps us all grow in our own ways. We might not agree with something now, but later it might apply in our life, and we'll be like, you know what? That time Sean was right. It was a villain, because now I got me one. Hello. But I'll start with you, Coach, on your final thoughts. Then we go to Sean, and we'll have Elsie close it out for us.
Yeah, listen, I just think a lot of people need to do a lot of work. I think people need to be ready to open themselves up to work. I will say that these TV shows, while they are devilish in the way that they operate, there are always great lessons for us to learn, and also the contestants to learn. Because as much as you're in these situations, it really does put a test to what you believe to be true and what you know and hold to be your needs, your wants, and your goals, your ambitions, and stuff like that. So I think when you look at obviously Hannah and Nick, you see them too. I think they both needed to learn something from each other. Nick needed to learn how to be more financially astute and learn how to stand on his own 2 feet and not be as dependent as he was. And we needed Hannah to also learn how to calm the heck down and actually learn how to have a bit of a good time, and not to project her fears of what she felt like someone isn't or is and isn't doing onto the other person. We had obviously as well, Ramses and Marissa, and I think two sides of a coin. I think we needed Ramses to communicate a bit more clearer. We needed him to be more precise with what he was saying and what he didn't want to encounter. I think we needed Marissa also to be also more aware of her actual self-worth and not actually stick in things that don't actually want her as well, right? I think shout out to Garrett and Taylor, you know what I mean? And shout out to Garrett too for putting his foot down. He said he's not going anywhere San Diego wise. Okay, yeah, I did it for the cameras, but when I'm off camera, just like when I text my ex, I'm gonna be staying here. Okay, that brother was playing a role. If you want my villain, Sean, that's your villain right there. Okay, he done fooled us all, telling us about how he gonna be happy to move to San Diego, and he ground Taylor to a halt behind the scenes, and she's sticking here. And then obviously Tyler and Ashley. Look, I really hope that Ashley is has taken time to really think about this. If she's done the work and has separated her assets and everything like that, and she knows the consequence of being with this guy, hey, who am I to say anything? But if she hasn't, my good dear sis, take what we're giving you, sit down with it, don't rush the decision. It's not. We understand it can be embarrassing, but we're here to support you. Do you know what I'm saying to you? I'm not about to cuss you out. I'd rather you just sit down now, because there's a lot of information coming out way later. Take some time, relax, think about it, and then go and make a decision. Do you know what I'm saying to you? No rush. Tyler, I need you to stop being Diablo. Okay, I need you to stop being a Diablo. I need you to stop being the wicked wizard of the West. Okay, I need you, brother, to really just think about some of your actions. You've become a full-time career criminal at this point, who has been evicted several times. My brother, something's not quite right. Okay, it's time to get some help like Rashid did. It's time for you to start looking at your own behaviors. Maybe get yourself a financial advisor. Okay, maybe not, because you might not be able to afford that just yet. But get maybe a friend who is astute in the finances. Probably reach out to Sean, because Sean can do it for free right now, and help you out, just setting you up on a budget to get you correctly done, so that you don't have to be the person that is getting evicted and stealing money from people, especially women. Okay, because you're gonna have Sean down your neck talking about misogyny,
For free,
patriarchy.
because that's going to be a whole lot of headache for trying to get him out of that. We don't have to charge for that.
Jojo
Sean
really
Ashley,
wants to
wants the
help.
box. He wants the box and bring me back to toxic masculinity, because he just keeps.
I yield my floor.
Yeah, I don't know what to say after all of that, that whole diatribe there. But um, what I would say is that I think the main message is please do the work before you enter into a marriage, or enter into a situation that's going to lead to a marriage. And do the actual work, not just with yourself, but do the work, with another party that isn't you, that's going to help you to see you, because looking in that mirror and facing yourself, will be the best thing that you can do. And I think each and every couple, we see different examples from greater to small, of where looking at yourself and assessing your actions is so important before you enter into the relationship with yourself, which ultimately is the most important relationship, is the one with yourself and truth.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. I will say for all the couples, I wish them well, whatever your decisions are as grown folk. I hope that you do so with open heart, open mind, and you can certainly go with God if you're a believer. But other than that, you make your grown folk decision. You're going to lay in the bed you made. I just hope it ain't with a dog with fleas, okay? So thank you everyone for joining us. Jay, you got any final words?
I sure do. I want to thank you all for being here with us tonight. I want to thank all my panelists for being here with us tonight. El Cid, Kojo, Sean. Please follow us all on our platforms. El Cid is on YouTube. El Cid 932. Little Black Book is on YouTube. Little Black Book 91. Sean is on YouTube. Sean Unfiltered, but find him on IG. Sean Davis 120. We're gonna force this out of him one day. I'm gonna be the villain of Sean's story. Don't worry. Also, please go support Jessica Daniels, because she did a deep dive research. She did all of that by herself to find all that information by herself. So her link is down in the description box. Please go follow her channel. Just like, share, subscribe. You don't have to tell her you came from over here. She don't know who I am. Just go support her, okay? Give her some love or whatnot. And please show me some love. Please like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And, leave us a comment if you're watching this on the replay. I love y'all, and I'm going to leave y'all. Y'all be safe. Have a great weekend. Happy Friday. And again, we'll be back tomorrow, a Little Black Books channel. So look out for that. Go over there, hit the notification bell so you already know what time we're going live, okay? We'll talk to you. Coach, I don't know if you picked out a time before I get up out of here. No pressure.
Yeah. I picked sorry, I did it at 6 last time, but no, it's gonna be like 1:30 CST for you guys, and 2:30 EST. So slightly later, because I just realized I'm gonna talk tomorrow. So yeah, so it'll be 2:30 EST, 1:30 CST time for you guys. And so yeah, I can't wait to have you all on the panel and discuss. I'm sure me and Sean will continue our many battles of DC and Marvel as we go on.
Wonderful. So let's get ready for Rumble. Let's get Carnage going. Let's get it all happening, okay? Tomorrow, El Cid gets the biggest smile when you say that type of stuff. You talk about crying and stuff, El Cid look at you crazy, but you talk about Carnage and start smiling. This is we love you here. But I love y'all. Y'all have a good night. Be safe again. All right. Bye.
Appreciate it.